Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Official home of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic. 97.5 The Fanatic's $1,000 gift card giveaway.
That's right. The key word is tip. T-I-P. Tip. 97.5 The Fanatic's $1,000 gift card giveaway. That's right. And the key word is tip. Text the keyword tip to 45911. That's 45911. Text the word tip.
It's just tip, right?
Just the tip. Yes, just
Thank
tip.
you.
Excuse me. TIP. There are 3 ways to play. Enter the keyword on the Fanatic app or at 97.5thefanatic.com. Again, text it to 45911. Once again, the keyword is tip. 97.5 The Fanatic's $1,000 gift card giveaway presented by American Standard HVAC Contractors. To find a dealer, visit AmericanStandardAir.com. One person selected at random will win. Get complete rules for this company-wide contest at 97.5thefanatic.com. Good luck.
Beautiful, Dick.
It's time now for Cuz Radio.
What up, cuz?
Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
Talking with the Cuz.
Go Cuz. How you doing?
Stairs rips one into the night.
Stolen by the doctor. Yes, he's got it.
Shane.
Here he comes.
Shane.
Ray rock the baby to sleep. And
Shane.
Look, cuz, don't even try it, okay?
Now here's Anthony Gargano.
Why don't you get the hell out of here, cuz?
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday to all across the Delaware Valley. And what? The Bucks are dead. Oh, my. Jimmy Butler, big game hunter. He slays Giannis and the Bucks. Are you kidding me? Wow, what an amazing win last night as they come back yet again on Milwaukee. Oh, man, talk about lumpers. Oh, my Lord. The Bucks choke city is incredible. Bucks at one point last night up 16, in the fourth quarter and lose. I mean, that's unbelievable. You're up 16 points to enter the fourth quarter and you lose the game in overtime. Jimmy with the shot. How about the oop with 0.1 second to go? I saw the replay. I fell asleep like a bum, and I missed it live. And I woke up, and I go, it was like one of those things where I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and went, what? Out of Milwaukee. The Heat won. Jimmy. I mean, that was unbelievable. The Bucks are out. The 1 seed dead. That's incredible. Man, oh, man, amazing stuff last night in the NBA playoffs. I mean, you know, they got a chance to tie the game and overtime. This is wild. Just incredible theater, these NBA playoffs. What a great sports week we got, because tonight it's on, baby. It's on. It's draft time. That's right, the NFL draft. Tonight we'll find out whether or not Howie is, what he's got up his sleeve at the 10th pick, 10 and 30. So we'll figure out kind of where he's at right now. I know all of a sudden there's a lot of trade-up rumors. That now is hit the in the 11th hour. The Eagles, there's a lot of reports about trade up, and the Eagles are going to trade up to get Will Anderson, or maybe trade up to get Jalen Carter. I would be surprised if that's the case. And by the way, I believe nothing, absolutely nothing, when it comes to any kind of news breakers that precedes the draft. You want to talk about smokescreen? I can't see my hand in front of my face with all the smoke that surrounds me. So I don't believe anything when it comes to that. whether or not there is any kind of, trade up. I don't think he's going to trade up. Now, again, it depends. Like if there's a guy, if one of the edge guys, right? If one of those guys, like we talk about, and Tyree Wilson's the other one, if one of those two guys are there at 8 and there's a trade possibility, I don't know, maybe. But I don't think he moves up. I don't see it. I think there's more of a chance that he moves back. And I think there's more of a chance that he wants to stockpile extra picks. Now, I keep going back to the same thing. During this draft, I look and I go, it's going to be either, the way I see it, a lineman, a corner, or Bijan or Gibbs, in that situation. I just can't stop. The way the draft is going to fall, and we'll go through, we did a mock yesterday. Had some fun with our man, Kevin Nagandi from ESPN and ABC. And, listen, I keep thinking that at some point it makes a lot of sense for them to trade back. It just does. Now, it all depends on the quarterbacks. If all 4 quarterbacks go in the top 10, in the top 9, well, then that's your trade. There's nobody really to trade back with. And you get the best. And by the way, if that happens, you just take the best player that's available. And there's going to be one of the defensive studs that's available at 10 if all 4 quarterbacks. If 4 quarterbacks don't go and 3 of them go, like that Bryce Young's a lock and that Levis is a lock, you got to believe that Stroud is there, although he keeps falling. So you have Stroud and you have Richardson as the wild cards. Does Richardson go before Stroud? Does Stroud fall out of the top 10? And then there's Hendon Hooker, who is the 5th quarterback, who should go somewhere in the teens as a redshirt kind of kid. So that's kind of where you're at. And I still think there's more of a chance he trades back. And again, if the 4 quarterbacks go, well, then you could sit there and you're going to have one of the corners. Like, Christian Gonzalez could theoretically fall to you. You got Witherspoon from Illinois. You got, again, the edge guys. And then you got Jalen Carter. So one of those defensive studs, if 4 quarterbacks go, should be there at 10. In which case, then I think he stays put and takes one of the kids and goes, thank you very much. May I have another at 30? And I think that's kind of how the draft will go. It's going to be great. We'll dive all the way into it and look at all the kinds of scenarios, figure out who you want. We'll get into the Sixers, a big game. Let's go Hawks tonight. Let's force that into a game 7. Who knows? All kinds of upheaval happening in the NBA playoffs. And just like the road got easy for the 2017-18 Eagles, it's getting easy for the 22-23 Sixers. Good morning, Tunis.
Hey, what's up? Go Jimmy Butler. The Fighting Butlers, the Miami Butlers.
Dude, that was just unbelievable last night.
Unreal. Wednesday
Did you
night.
Stay up? I fell asleep.
Yes. So
I never fall asleep. I fell asleep.
Wednesday night's my hoops night. So we played through the conditions yesterday, and I always have trouble falling asleep afterward. And so I got back during the second half of that game, and just unreal, man. And again, Jimmy Butler puts the team on his back, and credit, like Giannis still had a ridiculous game. The guy couldn't shoot from the free throw line, but he still puts together an incredible game. And you look at it, you go, he's also doing that with decent players around him. Whereas Jimmy Butler's, he's pretty much by himself. Like you got Kyle Lowry, who's a shell of himself at this point. You don't have Tyler Hero. Bam's a decent ball player, but he's not Embiid.
Right.
It's unreal what he's doing, and now all of a sudden he knocks off a Titan in the Bucks, and they should be able to they could beat the Knicks.
Yeah.
They could. I'm not saying should. They could.
Yeah.
And it's just unreal. All of a sudden we could see if the Sixers get past the Celtics, a rematch of last year's playoffs.
Yeah. Amazing.
It's just crazy, man, that these playoffs have been so much fun to watch. Memphis, even though I don't want them to, they stay alive yesterday. The Warriors take a 3-2 series lead, even though I want the Kings to win that series. It's just been a lot of fun, highly entertaining, these playoffs so far. And the best part right now is Sixers have had their feet up for, a week now.
Yeah, big time. It's that rest, that ability to sit back and just wait is amazing. And again, I can't stress enough that taking the Bucks out of the playoffs in the first round, that's a monumental upset. And God bless Jimmy Butler, but I mean, at some point, he's got to fall by the wayside. Right?
Yeah, you would imagine.
Some point, like I can't see him doing this through to the finals. I mean, it would be almost a superhuman effort.
Especially
without
a team,
Tyler Hero.
Especially a team like the Knicks, right? That's a gritty team.
Right.
They're gonna be hacking them all series. Like that's not some no defense playing basketball team, right? That's gonna be a tough series for Jimmy Butler. That if he does win, you would imagine he's gonna be cooked at some point.
Well, and look, the Sixers are just clearly better than both Miami and New York. They just are. I just don't see it. I think it's such a huge deal that all of a sudden that part of the bracket is scalable. Like it's like, oh my God, you got to beat Boston. If you just beat Boston, we're going to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, and
I truly believe that. Again, it would be a colossal disappointment.
Oh my God!
If you beat Boston and lost to one of those two teams that you're better than.
Yeah, that would be just as bad as losing in the second round.
Yes.
Honestly, it would be. It would be just as bad as losing in the second round, and we would still have the conversations about changing, and this player's got to go, this player's got to go, this coach has to get fired. So, yeah, it's getting set up that way, which is incredible. And go Hawks, force one more game, even though I still think Boston wins this series. I don't think Hawks come back down 3-1. Just get those legs a little bit more tired. Get those legs a little bit more tired, and the Sixers at that point would have 8 days rest starting that series. That's huge, man.
And a lot of people have been talking about this, and they're spot on, man. I just saw my man Steve on Twitter, and T. Will just said the same thing. I mean, these guys, you got to reseed in the NBA. Like, how could you not? Like, not reseeding is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
It's so bad. It's so bad. You now have
terrible.
It shows that the regular season doesn't matter, right? Because now you have the 2 and 3 seeds going up against each other in the second round of the playoffs, which is normal, right? If the 1 seed and the 4 seed were to advance, that's how it would play out. But that's not how it did play out. And now all of a sudden,
Judas, it makes no sense.
Makes no sense whatsoever.
A league that is so petrified that their regular season has lost all intrinsic value.
You're adding to that right now.
Yes. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Because let's face it, I mean, reseeding would be perfect right now. I mean, it would be perfect. Because then you got another matchup before you got to play Boston, and let's face it, that matchup between Sixers and Celtics should be for the Eastern Conference Finals.
It should be, and it's another chance for you want to look at home court. Sixers and Celtics, they should be awarded home court right now. Both of them.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? Both of them should be awarded home court. Unfortunately, it's just the Celtics if they beat the Hawks, which I think they will. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I know it doesn't happen often, but in the off chance that it does, why wouldn't you have that plan in place?
I agree.
Happy draft day, by the way.
To the draft, baby. Meineke has you covered. Let's talk about our local Meineke. With my first pick to fix my car, I choose Meineke. That's right. Right now, they'll get you a semi-synthetic oil change starting at $29.95. Full synthetic oil changes start at $59.95 up to 5-quart standard filter plus disposal fees. Hey, is your car acting up? Weird sounds, lights, warning bells, any of that stuff? your brakes, any of that stuff happen, guess what? Take your car in to your local Meineke. You take that vehicle in there, you're going to sleep at night. They're going to take care of you. They're going to go through a whole point plan. They'll fix it right. They'll also make sure that your maintenance plan is up to date. Check out Meineke right now. They got you covered. You spend $50, you save 10. You spend 150, save 20. You spend 400 or more, you save 50. And right now, you can save 50% off all of your brake pads and shoes. That's right. At your local Meineke Car Care Center. Did you know that all Meinekes are locally owned and operated? Find out more information about Meineke or to schedule your service appointment, just go to Meineke.com, Meineke, Meineke.com. Meineke for tires and brakes and batteries and exhaust. Meineke doing car care right.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Happy draft day. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this update is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Your small business keeps you on the go. Progressive Commercial Insurance.
Take advantage of Window Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows. Plus, make no down payment with no payments and no interest for 12 full months. Call 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com. Yeah. All right, welcome back. Buzz Radio. Choo, 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 choo. Man. I'll tell you, dude, I'm so enamored. I mean, between the playoffs and the draft, I mean, what? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, this is a crazy time right now. It's sportsgasmic for sure. We got all kinds of stuff going on, and it's awesome for Philadelphia too, right? Like, if I were to just go sports fan Joe, this is awesome. But, you know, as a Philadelphia fan, my squad's been in the second round for days now, and the Eagles, who just lost in the Super Bowl, have 2 first-round picks, and one of them is 10th overall.
Yes.
When does that happen?
Yes.
When is the Super Bowl, a Super Bowl contender, you know, champion or not, have a top 10 pick?
I know.
That never happens.
I know. I mean, it never. And that's what was funny. I was on with Preston and Steve today, and Casey, boy, I love those guys. And we were talking about it, and they were like, you know, so what's, you know, because they're not as into the draft. Like they look at us like we're aliens,
right?
In a fun way. Like they're like, you guys just go nuts over this draft. Like, what is it about the draft? And you know, I guess it's something that it presents hope, right? Like I don't know. I mean, we all get to know the players, and it's football. Like at this point, we're missing football. So maybe it's the point in the calendar and the idea that it turns the fortunes around for your team. So it just is a cool thing. I don't know what it is that is big. I've always loved it. And we love our fantasy drafts, and I don't know, it's like a little celebration. And it's interesting. Very rarely does this happen when you're a team that good and you have the 10th pick overall, a top 10 pick, and you're a Super Bowl team. That's tremendous. You got 2 of them. That's tremendous. It reminds me, and few people know this, the Sixers were set up in an amazing fashion. And this is like in the old days. Like, I'm a child. The Sixers were going, if you remember, 1980, they went to the finals against the Lakers, right? And they 82, 81, they lose against the Celtics. 82, they go back to the finals. 83, they win it. The Sixers were set up with number 1 picks from the Cavaliers, who stunk throughout that time. I mean, think about the year that Jordan is there, right? The Sixers have 5, 10, and like whatever it was, 24. The 1984 draft, the Sixers had number 5 and number 10 and number 24.
That's amazing.
Can you even fathom that?
No, I could not. 2 top 10 picks.
Now again, we got Barkley,
right?
But we squandered the 10th pick. That was Leon Wood, who turned out to be a better official than a player. But imagine, like, if you had the wherewithal, I'll give you 5 and 10 for Jordan.
Right. Oh my God.
Like, if you go to the Trailblazers, who wanted to take Sam Bowie, you go, yo, guys, listen, I'll give you 5 and 10, and, give me Mike, or give me your pick. He didn't go to, what, 3, whatever it was, 3. Like, if you had any kind of foresight, it could have been Jordan.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And then Moses. Like, think about that for a second. I mean, it was that close. When you're sitting there I'll give you 5, 10, and 20, whatever it was, 24. I'll give you 5, 10, and 24 for your one. No, they wouldn't do that. I'm sure there's a chance they would do that. Somebody would do that.
That is crazy to think about, that they had that opportunity.
I mean, that's what, and maybe that's what the draft is all about, right? Like, it presents hope. And
there's also so much good drama, right? With all the, the trades that there will be and the shock picks. right? We did our mock draft yesterday with Kevin, and we just did it straight up. But we know that there's going to be a flurry of trades in the first round.
Yeah.
For quarterbacks, teams that could
Right.
trade out. If things don't go their way, they could trade back. I mean, the Eagles are in the perfect spot because if they want to draft Bijan Robinson, but they want to do it at 14 or whatever, somebody wants to trade up to that 10th spot, you can grab, I don't know exactly what how many picks you'd get in return. Probably be 2 picks, one maybe in the second round and one in the later round, which right now they don't have a pick in the 4th, 5th, or 6th round.
Yeah.
So, a trade like that would be best of both worlds. You're still going to get your player if that's who they want to go with, and then you're also going to start piling up picks for later rounds, which, look, we've seen the Eagles have pretty much good success in later rounds the last couple of years. They've been better than the first-round picks.
Yeah. I mean, they've been really good. And they're actually really good when it comes to undrafted free agents, too.
Yep. You know what Bob said today on the John Kincaid show that I was just fascinated by and also depressed by? Since 1960, the Eagles have drafted 1 first-round pick that's become a Hall of Famer.
Wow.
Now, I get it. Hall of Fame football is pretty hard.
Yeah, but you gotta.
But 1. And it was a lineman from 1963 or 68, something like that. So not even close to present day.
That's amazing.
That's not good.
No.
We've talked about the bad regimes that have been here, so hopefully those change as the years go on.
It's a pretty incredible statement to think about. Wow. So, by the way, that 84 draft, so the Rockets had the first pick in the draft. They take Olajuwon. The dream was like the man, right? So,
Right.
all right. But number 2 is when Portland, and this is infamous, when they take Sam Bowie. Now, I still even go and then the Bulls, when they take Jordan, I'm sure they loved the pick, and I remember. But you're going to tell me you couldn't trade those? I can't believe something that long ago. I'm still thinking, and I'm putting today's sensibilities with histories, and that's what you can never do because we know so much more about the draft. The evolution in sports is fascinating.
Well, we played it. There was a clip from the vault last week, I think it was, and it was a team that traded up 4 or 5 spots, and the team that traded back only acquired a second-round pick, and it was for the second or third pick overall in the NFL draft. Whereas nowadays, how much do you have to pay to move up those spots?
Yeah,
it's so much more.
Yeah. It's completely everything. Isn't it interesting because it's completely different now?
Yeah, back then it was smart to just stay and make a selection, whereas now it may be the smarter move, depending on where you're at and the players on the board, to trade back just 2 or 3 spots and acquire a few picks, which is just what I want the Eagles to do.
Right. Yeah, it's wild.
Because think about it. It is smarter. I could come away with Bijan Robinson at 10. Or I could come away with Bijan Robinson at 14 or 15 or 16, but also have another second-round pick and a fourth-round pick. It just makes sense that way. That's just the smarter move. As long as you can read the board.
I agree. Well, you listen. Everybody knows certain teams. What teams? The intel is there, so you kind of know what's going on. You think what you don't know is what trades from other teams that could pop up and sneak in front of you.
Well, like the Eagles last year or 2 years ago, getting Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
The Giants. That was the Giants' pick.
Yeah.
The Giants were going to get Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
And then all of a
Imagine
sudden,
them.
here come the Eagles hopping over. They get Smith, and then they get stuck with their pants down, draft Kadarius Toney.
Yeah. Who's now in
Right.
Kansas City.
And this is the same offseason they paid Kenny Galladay all that money.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And now they
We're
pay
talking
Daniel
about
Now they pay Daniel Jones all that
setting
money.
your franchise back.
Yep.
Wow, that's bad. That's completely bad. That's terrible. But it's so interesting how this draft can go.
I saw a mock yesterday that actually had the Vikings trading up to 10 with the Eagles, and I think they took Hooker, and they redshirt him behind Cousins because Cousins got 1 year left on his deal, and then Cousins leaves, and Hooker's your starter the following year.
Yes.
That's actually like a genius move if you're Minnesota.
Yes.
Because you have to start thinking about the next move. Because Cousins, I think they've reached their peak with Cousins.
You're silly, but now their defense is woefully
That's
bad.
true, yeah.
What really hurt them was their defense. Like Washington, it's a big deal with Washington, what they're doing. I'll tell you one thing. I mean, this is completely wild. The way the whole thing, the whole draft can go with the quarterbacks. Wild. And it's going to affect the Eagles at 10. I'm like, I can't wait for that. And then I can't even stop thinking about the Heat Bucks.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I can't stop thinking about it. I can't.
Because it's just setting up perfectly.
Yeah, it's awesome.
By the way, Diana Rossini reporting that the Titans have called the Cardinals about the 3rd overall pick. Obviously, the report is my sense is the Titans have their eyes on a quarterback, which, yeah, of course, because of Tannehill and Malik Willis. But already, they're starting to flow, man. The Titans have called the Cardinals for that 3rd overall pick.
Interesting, though. Malik Willis is still a puppy. And
yeah.
They're already giving up on him.
I mean, he looked so bad last year.
He did, but that's what happens when you have a raw quarterback. Unless they just think he can't play. But don't you think that's quick to completely give up on Malik Willis? And he did look terrible. I agree.
I mean, he looked bad. Like, it wasn't even like, I see some flashes here.
But that's a big deal. That's a big deal. You were to give up on you just drafted the kid.
Yeah, they go, 3rd round pick.
Yeah, 3rd round pick is not, you don't just flush
I
him.
know, but it was a guy that was considered top 10. He falls to the 3rd. But here's the thing, it's the quarterback thing. They're starving for the Cardinals. They did it with Kyler Murray after, was it Rosen? They drafted in the 1st round.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
It goes with my belief, which is I'll draft a quarterback every year until I get it right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. That would mean that it goes Young, Levis, Stroud. Unless they like Richardson.
Right.
And they think Richardson, Steve McNair 2.0? Great athlete, big arm.
Well,
that could also mean all
4 quarterbacks, right? First 4 picks.
It could mean all 4 quarterbacks go. Well, at some point, the 4th quarterback will have to go. Because you're talking Tennessee goes up to 3?
Yeah, with Arizona.
So you got to think who.
Arizona would get a haul for that, man.
You got to think who's the next team that would want to jump up and grab a quarterback.
I still think Atlanta should, but I don't think they will. They're at 8.
I mean, if you're sitting there at 8 and Richardson or Stroud's there, how do you not take a quarterback? Right?
Or even if they trade back and go Hooker and they go, we believe in Desmond Ridder. You go 1 year with Ridder. You find out he's clearly not the guy.
Yeah, listen, I would certainly. I mean, Hooker intrigues me. I think Hooker is a real prospect. You just got to.
You get him with Pitts out there.
He's just a red shirt.
Yeah,
he's just a red shirt. So that's 5. Now imagine if 4 quarterbacks go before the Eagles. Now look where you're at. If 4 quarterbacks go, you're getting one of the defensive studs. I'm not going to get my wish of Bijan, but you're going to get a defensive stud.
Yeah, because the run on defensive players are going to happen too. Like, who does Atlanta target?
So, all right, just say 4 quarterbacks are off the board. Right? Say Bryce goes, Levis goes, and let's say Tennessee gets, let's say they get one of the two quarterbacks,
Yep.
Stroud or the Colts go quarterback. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 quarterbacks, right? Now you got Will Anderson's there, Tyree Wilson's there, Jalen Carter is there, Christian Gonzalez is there. All your O-line is there.
Yeah.
Witherspoon is there. I mean, wow.
It could play out that way if that trade happens. If that trade happens, it's first 4 picks are quarterbacks.
And that would mean at 10, you're going to walk away with a highly ranked position player.
Yeah. Today's going to be a lot of fun, man.
I know.
The
The only thing is,
rumors are just starting.
the only thing is, it sucks because we're not getting our man. We're not getting Bijan.
Yeah, that's when you take Gibbs in the back half of the first round.
Yeah, listen, listen, you take Gibbs at 30. And you go, thank you very much. Yeah, I hear you. I do. I would want one of the edge guys to fall. I'd want either Will Anderson or Tyree Wilson to fall. That would be the dream. But I can't. Somebody's got to take them before 10. Take them both.
Yeah, for sure.
Christian Gonzalez is going to go somewhere.
He may go to Atlanta. I just don't know. I can't put my finger on what Atlanta does.
And then you got Carter. He's such a wild card, dude.
He is.
He's such a wild card. And again, you never know what to believe because all the scuttlebutt is just being thrown at the wall, and I just hear all kinds of things. I don't know. Character, can you trust him? Decisions, all this stuff. I don't know. It's crazy. Let's go to the phone lines, get it started, talk to our friends. It's going to be a busy day today. Paul, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Good morning,
Anthony.
Paul. What do you say, buddy?
How are you, pal?
My
Listen,
man.
how you lined it up is exactly how I have it. I have Carolina, Houston. I have the Colts moving up 1. I have the Titans moving from 11 to 4.
So you got 4 quarterbacks going 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that would be
That is
awesome.
correct. That's how I think tonight. I think tonight's real volatile. I think Wilson goes after, Carter goes after, Gonzalez goes after. Will Anderson slides to 8 and goes. Chicago takes the first tackle with Paris Johnson, and we're sitting there with Devin Witherspoon sitting at 10.
Yeah.
That's how I have tonight. Now your dilemma is with all these 13s and the Jets and the Green Bay Packers who don't have a tackle. I think we're sitting in a prime position for everybody to come up to 10. And
It's a great point. I mean, because the tackles will be there.
The tackles will be there. Now, do you trade back and accumulate the 4th and 5th round picks that you don't have? And do you trade? And then when you trade back to 13 in Green Bay spot and they get the best next tackle, and now all of a sudden you're sitting there with Bijan Robinson and picks? Or do you sit at 10 and take Devin Witherspoon because he slid to you?
I trade back.
I personally would trade back.
I trade back too.
I would trade back. And
I would. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's, first of all, we need more picks. Strength is in numbers. So I kind of agree to get the 4th and 5th round picks back, or even like an extra 3rd. I don't know how much you're going to get for sliding back that far. You might not get a 2, but you might get a 3 and a 4. But I'll take that. I need picks this year. So that's what I think the Eagles do, Anthony. I think they slide back, and I think they get Bijan. I hear Nolan Smith. I think he's more 3-4. What I see a lot now, I see all these tackles who were safe picks. The volatile draft, very scary. So all these tackles and guards, they're safe picks. That's why I think everybody's coming up for them. I do have the Titans making the biggest move of the day from 11 to 4. I just, and on the back end, on the Eagles' back end, like I hope for, but it ain't going to happen. Hendon Hooker's going to go early. He's going to go earlier than I think. And
I think Hooker goes earlier too. I agree with you.
Yeah, I think I thought there was setback. He's 25 years old, coming off an ACL. Okay,
Yeah.
but anymore ACLs are not. They're a year. So if he can get into a thing, spend a year in Minnesota, back out. Next thing you know, they got their starting quarterback. He's 26 years old, mature. Definitely would have been in the top 10 pick if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't want to see anything. I don't want a Lucas Van Ness and Nolan Smith, a Miles Murphy. I don't want that.
No, I listen, I'm with you. I don't want to force an edge guy, a secondary edge guy. Listen,
Right.
if I trade back and, one of those guys are there, I mean, and Bijan's gone, I might have interest, but I can't go, not a 10. I don't want the secondary edge guy. I agree. That's great stuff, Paul. Great stuff, man. And I think we're sussing this thing out. Hey, by the way, a couple guests coming up I want to tell you about. At 12:20, Andre Odom, super agent. He's got a bunch of guys in this draft as he does. Of course, Kyle Pitts, you had mentioned, that's his agent. Micah Parsons, Andre, that's his client.
He's kind of good at playing football.
Joey Porter Jr. is my man's new. He's got him in this draft. I'll give you who he's got. So we'll talk to Dre. I love it's my man. Also, B-Ball Paul is going to join us today. Excited to talk to Paul Reed at 1:40 today. So we got a lot of good stuff. As always, right here. Keep it here. Cuz Radio, tune us. 97.5 The Fanatic. Hey, let's talk about the Colonial Marble and Granite, because maybe you're thinking about doing some remodeling this summer. If this sounds like you and you look at the house, you're thinking, maybe get the new kitchen. I'm telling you, you can't get better than Colonial Marble and Granite. No. They're going to make your dreams come true. Get a fully installed granite countertop for just $14.99, up to 40 square feet, all-in kitchen, $69.99. Are you kidding me? That includes countertops, cabinetry, sink and faucet package. Colonial also offers zero money down, 0% financing for up to 18 months on purchases of $19.99 or more. Stop by an area showroom. They're going to guide you through your project from selection through installation. They have design team. They're headed by Sandra. They have everything. They're fantastic. And I'm telling you, that's right, the best. Their flagship location, King of Prussia, has the nation's largest slab yard, over 55,000 square feet of marble, granite, quartz, stones. Give them a call, set up a free in-home consultation. That's what we're doing. My wife loves them. Already have some ideas. Try to visualize it out. 10:50. Don't forget, Vault coming your way in 10.
All right.
Wow. What a day this is going to be, man. Got to figure out where we're headed. Draft. Lots to do, man. Lots and lots.
Oh, you
and
also
lots
got to throw
do.
Celtics Hawks on a different screen, man.
I know, man. I don't know if I can concentrate. I don't know if I can concentrate. I really don't. My head's spinning.
Oh, the beauty of the draft. Okay. I love the draft. I don't want to sound like I'm about to say the draft is, overrated or anything. There's a lot of extra pomp and circumstance, right? You could watch a game and also have the draft on.
No.
Yes, you can.
No.
Yes, you can.
No way.
Dude, no.
Watch a game.
You put the Celtics Hawks on no audio. You have the draft audio on because
dude,
when
I'm
you
sorry.
you
I
hear
disagree.
the and you look up and you see the pick and then you react and then you see their reactions and then it's now the Eagles are on the clock and you got 10 minutes.
Dude, are you serious?
Dude, the draft you can go second screen.
No.
Yes, you can.
No, that's blasphemy.
No, it's not. The draft is not one screen privilege. It's not the Super Bowl.
Dude,
There's only a few one-screen privileged events. The draft is not one of them.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
Dude, if the Sixers were playing tonight, you wouldn't have two screens.
Well, that's different.
And Sixers would be big screen.
That's different.
Draft would be
because-
little phone.
No.
Sixers.
no.
If it was
First
Sixers
round?
playoffs,
Well, it depends. If Sixers Celtics, yes. Sixers Brooklyn, no.
what would Sixers Brooklyn be on? Phone?
Yeah, the iPad. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
But you're admitting that you could handle two screens.
That's because that's special circumstances.
Dude,
But you
what if the
can't-
Hawks force a game 7 tonight?
Yeah, but no, brother.
Dude, draft is not.
No.
All right, there are probably 5 events. Well, I mean, any
Draft is a singular event.
yeah, but you could go a second screen.
Earth-shaking event. Yeah, I completely disagree.
What do you need
with
to hear about the guy's upbringing for 10 minutes until the next pick
that's
is
different.
made?
They don't do that. Listen. They don't dive into fluff as much. It's football.
How much do you need to hear about hips?
See, you mocked it. See, it's funny. I talked to somebody yesterday. Who hit me up on social media and said when we were talking at the end of the show.
Yeah, we did. We read the scouting report.
Cansey, remember?
Yes.
And it's funny because he is a nice player, right? Like if he was bigger, he would be, forget about Jalen Carter. If this kid had that kind of size, he's just a little small on the smaller size. He's a player, and I think he's a player. I would have interest in.
Yeah, he's got
at
great
30.
burst and a high motor.
Oh, look, you're laughing, you're mocking. See, you were mocking yesterday during that thing.
Because it's
There's
just
a party
funny,
that-
man. It's
there's a
funny.
There's a party that's a little out on
But
the
dude,
on the
that's
draft.
no, it's
Not
every
out.
sport. I
No.
make fun of baseball all the time with it late life.
I love
Like
it.
I love baseball to death, and I make fun of the extra
I know,
terms.
but you know what I'm saying? Like the draft, like I know you're into it, but you got a little bit of mock in you.
Yeah, I make fun of Mel Kiper going off the big board of words
You're mocking
for
me a little bit.
for
Like,
3
to me,
hours.
I just think it's a standalone piece, dude.
So you're not gonna be able to handle a second screen?
No.
Ah,
I'll check in on the score.
wow! I'm going
But
laptop on the table in front of me with Celtics
Nah.
Hawks, and the big screen will be the
Nah.
draft.
I'll watch it later. I'll DVR.
You'll
it.
DVR it.
Yeah, I will. I've DVR'd all the Celtics games so I can watch them.
Hey, you're scouting.
Seriously. But honestly, tonight I will be one screen.
Yeah, you're gonna be in the
And
you're gonna be in the
phone.
lab.
I will. Phone. I'll have the phone going because I'll be, trying to suss out, text. You're playing fake GM. I'm good at playing fake GM. Or fake, what do you want to call it? Fake assistant GM? I weasel my way in to go, yeah, what do you think of this? Then I'm waiting for like a return.
You got a shot.
I'm like as a fake title. I'm a fake me out. Fugazi GM or a Fugazi, personnel man.
You're a heck of a football guy.
That's
Just
right
throw a
now.
few nows at the end of your set.
That's right now. It's all about that preposition, baby.
Give me your top 5 players with the best hips in the draft tonight.
See, you're mocking it. You're mocking.
It's just funny. Come on, man. Admit it.
You're a mocker.
All of a sudden, baseball, the sweeper. Like, come on. Like, why do we have to do this stuff?
Come on, bro. Come on.
Sports terminology makes me laugh sometimes.
There's my man Dominic on the text board. If the Eagles were drafting at 30 and we're probably going to sit pat because they had no draft equity to move around, then you could split screen. But this year, there's so much drama because we have no idea how many quarterbacks are going to go and in what order, and we have a top 10. This is like ultimate chess.
That's
tonight.
why I go big screen with audio. How do you play
ultimate chess? Looking around. Look, your eyes are wandering. And it'll say you watch Trey Young.
Oh,
can't do that. It's a violation.
It's not a violation.
What? Screen.
All right, we're polling this.
Poll it. There you go, Dick Tunis.
Ah, dude. R.I.P. Jerry Springer.
Yeah, I saw it.
Just passed away.
That was the beginning of just trash television. And, putting a camera on the dregs of humanity. That was. Did you watch that? You didn't watch that, did you?
I've seen one clip because I know somebody that was on the show.
No, you don't.
Yep.
Did they fight?
It was an argument.
Was there a fist fight?
Nah.
They used to have the security.
Yeah.
Right, you'd see these clips. Oh God, that was horrible.
Now I know a lot were actors, but there were occasionally the real story, and I do know one, but I will keep that to myself, or I'll tell you during a break.
You know who you had? You got to tell me.
Yeah, I will.
You know who you got? On your side, Uncle Frank. Uncle Frank says that it's not one screen.
It's not just Uncle Frank. Scott checks in. It's a no-brainer. You can go 2 screens. Our man Yaxier Torres, second screen with the draft. Tristan checks in. It's not a single TV night. I'll put up a poll, though.
So I get buried in this.
Oh, we'll see.
This poll.
Look, I will let the people decide.
All right. Open the vault.
When we began opening this vault nearly 2 hours ago, we had no real idea what we'd find inside. As it turns out, we haven't found very much.
The vault. Presented by Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged.
All right, it's the final day of, there's probably still going to be other this day in histories with drafts, but it's the final draft-heavy vault of the 2023 season, the vault season. And I wanted to mix it up a little bit and just go good vibes. And we've been playing a lot of very, very bad drafts for the Eagles. I told you that Bob Cooney brought it up on the air this morning that since 1960, there's only been one Hall of Famer that the Eagles drafted in the first round. That's really bad. And it's not just Hall of Famers. That shouldn't just be the line. There's been a lot of players that have only made it 1 or 2 seasons in the NFL, drafted by the Eagles in the first round. So today, on the day of the first round, I wanted to go with the positive vibes and go with the good picks in Eagles franchise history in the first round. A lot of them are more recent. So let's start in 2010, a guy that a lot of people didn't want in the first round, but it worked out for the Eagles.
Denver has traded the number 13 pick to Philadelphia. With the 13th pick in the 2010 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Brandon Graham, defensive end, Michigan. And this guy's your body. He's only 6'1 and 3/8, 268 pounds. He's tightly wound with very short arms.
Tightly wound.
Some teams. He's schemed to burst. He can play 3-4 front or 4-3 front. He's got a phenomenal motor, and I think year 1 in Philadelphia, he's a situation Watch him with his quick burst, working against
Quick burst
from Vanderbilt. Right there, gets the hand, dips under. That's an athletic mismatch right there. Against Vladimir Dukov, sets him up outside, rips underneath. He was unblockable the entire Senior Bowl week. Here he is again, spin move, showing some versatility in his rush. In the game, coming off the edge. Again, look at the hand usage and now the explosion, the vision on the quarterback, the close. Nobody blocked him this entire week. I love this play because it's athleticism. Misdirection toss, you don't let him outside, you force him back in, you make the tackle. That's a highly athletic play for a defensive end to make in space against the running back.
Well, we know it. Remember what we were doing, right? Remember what we were doing? We were wanting Earl Thomas.
Yes.
I was right there leading the charge for Earl Thomas.
You hear that reaction when it was Brandon Graham?
What were they chanting?
Eagles suck. Eagles suck. Now, I don't know if that was Eagles fans.
No.
You know, that could have been all the other people that were at the draft,
It's
too.
amazing. And BG to this day still here.
Still here?
Bless him, man. And you know what I love about him and respect him? Is that, listen, he turned out to be a great player.
Oh, yeah.
And a great Eagle. And, like, he never held it against us.
Great Philadelphian.
Great Philadelphian. Never held it against us for the Earl Thomas stuff.
Oh, you're
Always
right.
had a good idea about it. Always had a good idea. Like a good head on his shoulder.
Yeah, you compare him
listen,
to 5, it's not even close.
Listen, you know, and Earl Thomas is a hell of a football player. Now, concussions and everything else make his career short. But after Dawkins, this was like no disrespect, BG, but after Dawkins, you needed Earl Thomas. And BG's still playing, man. God bless him.
So we go to 2013. The Eagles holding on to the 4th overall pick. Another guy that is still here, arguably the greatest right tackle in the NFL right now. Here's Lane Johnson.
With the 4th pick in the 2013 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Lane Johnson, tackle, Oklahoma.
Okay, Mike, have at it.
Well, that's why I had my mock draft of the Eagles. I think he makes a ton of sense. He's the most athletic offensive tackle in the draft. And guys, what's Chip Kelly going to do? Chip Kelly's going to run up-tempo, maximize the number of snaps per game. He's got to have offensive linemen that can run, that are in great shape. This kid played junior college football as a quarterback. Watch this, guys. This is him 4 years ago as a quarterback. Play action. Pretty good. Now watch this next play. We're going to run boot into the sideline. This is our 310-pound tackle right here.
Unbelievable.
How beautiful is that right there?
It's unbelievable. He is now going to be the protector of Michael Vick or Nick Foles or whoever it is he thinks is going to be there in Philadelphia.
Wow.
Good pick.
Great pick.
It's worked
Might
out.
be
It's
one of
worked
the
out.
greatest ever. Might be one of the greatest ever.
Yeah, because you think about the left tackles in recent history. Now, Mailata you drafted, but that was such a, nobody expected Mailata to become the guy that he is now. But the other guys have been free agents, right? Peters and John Runyon. Now, I know that's left side, but that's a great pick and a guy that's been a staple for a long time. Was not allowed a sack in 2 years, Ant. So I'm glad that we're getting the good vibes out. How about 2017 in our own backyard? Here's Roger Goodell making the announcement, opening up the draft in Philly.
By the way, I'm sure all three of you said some really important things. Didn't hear a word of it. It's rocking. The crowd is ready to roll. The commissioner is heading to the podium. It's time to get this party started.
Wow, listen to that.
Good evening and welcome to the NFL Draft. Come on, Philly, come on. There you go. We are thrilled to be back here in Philadelphia, where the first draft was held nearly 80 years ago. So tonight, we celebrate the great game that we all love, and we celebrate as NFL dreams come true. So it sounds like you're ready. Are you ready? The NFL Draft for 2017 is officially open.
They messed up not bringing it back, dude.
Well, it's funny. Philadelphia changed the way that the NFL did the draft. I mean, let's face it. They looked at how we handled the draft, And remember, we were in Chicago. We killed it. It became, what do you want to call it, Coachella? Like, it became that. It was
damn festival.
It was. It was a music festival. It wrapped up in an NBA and an NFL draft. And the way we did it, they went, "Oh my God, we got something here. We got to take this thing all over." So they go to Vegas, they go to Kansas City, and But guess what? Nobody does like Philadelphia. Dallas was just weak compared to us.
Oh yeah, it wasn't even close.
Weak.
It wasn't even close. I know people aren't really the biggest fans of Derek Barnett, but I want to play how it sounded when they made this selection in Philadelphia.
Okay, with the 14th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Derek Barnett, defensive end, Tennessee.
Derek Barnett, the defensive end out of Tennessee, the player who eliminated Reggie White's name from the Tennessee record book for the most sacks, is now a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. There you see the record, one more than Reggie White. Second all-time in tackles for losses, trailing only Leonard Little. And now it is Derek Barnett's time to shine. The crowd still going crazy as Barnett walks down for the obligatory hug with the commissioner. Let's listen into the moment. And I guess a lot of people here are saying thank you, Howie Roseman, and thank you, Sam Bradford, Mel, because this was the trade that got them this #1 pick back to get Barnett.
Exactly. You think about production. You mentioned it, Trey, in the SEC, unmatched. I mean, unbelievable week to week with Derek Barnett. Was able to watch him here. Anticipates the snap. Boy, he has great hand usage, and he can close despite only having 4.88 speed at the combine. Doesn't have the length, the long arms you would want necessarily. But the way he plays football, the savvy that he has as a defensive end, the way he works these offensive tackles, he schooled these tackles in college. The question is, can he do it in the NFL? Doesn't have the length, as I said, only that 4.88 closing speed. But Terrell Suggs only ran a 4.84 coming out of Arizona State. Terrell Suggs had great production in the Pac-12, like Barnett had in the SEC. That's what you're hoping if you're the Eagles.
Oh, he was not Terrell Suggs.
Yeah, but you know what? The way that sounded gave me chills, man.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, it was an incredible experience.
And listen, again, it's a shame because he had bend and...
Yeah, good ankles.
He did have good ankles. Bend. So weird.
Bend, but don't break.
The ankles, bent, like the ankles were a joint, bending around the side. Yeah. That was a fun time, though, dude.
It was, oh my God, it was a great time. Just an awesome experience. I was able to do stuff for the station that night behind the scenes, which was really cool. I was there for when Hassan Reddick got drafted and everything. So that was a cool experience to have that in our own backyard. Hopefully it comes back at some point. Now remember, in that draft, Drew Pearson had his incredible speech. Remember, it was the second round. They drafted Awuzie, the cornerback, and he kept on getting louder and louder because the crowd kept on getting louder and louder. It was a great back and forth. And then the next year it was in Dallas. And so David Akers was the one making the pick for the Eagles in the second round. He had to try to match, if not beat, Pearson's energy. And here's how it sounded the next year.
The Indianapolis Colts have traded their 49th pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. To announce the Philadelphia Eagles selection, please welcome, from the University of Louisville, kicker David Akers.
What's up, Dallas?
Kicker's trolling the Cowboys.
Last year, I like standing up here before you as an undrafted free agent, representing that shield for 15 years. Tonight, I'm representing the Philadelphia Eagles, NFC East champs, divisional champs, NFC champs. World champs! The world champs! Hey, Dallas! The last time you were in the Super Bowl, these draft picks weren't born! Tonight, we are welcoming into the Eagles
Look at Doug Peterson.
With the 49th pick in the 2018 draft, the NFL would like to represent the Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Goedert. from South Dakota State.
Good work out of Akers.
Dude, that was the greatest, man. It really was.
And they jump, and Dallas won it. Dallas got it. And the Eagles jump up to get him.
Yeah.
I mean, that entire thing was theater. It was great.
Yeah. I mean, that was the greatest, dude. Are you kidding me?
All right, last but not least.
By the way, Dallas Goedert's a stud.
He is a stud. Last but not least.
How about your boy Ertz?
He's a stud, too. This was a pick that majority of us kind of shook our heads with. There's a lot of revisionist history out there. Said that he was the right pick at the right time. Could still make the case that he wasn't, but it's freaking worked out, man. And he's now the highest paid player in the NFL. In the teeth of COVID, and remember, Roger Goodell was doing this in his basement, in the little man cave. And this is when the Eagles selected your franchise quarterback, Jalen Hurts.
And I think when you look at Jalen Hurts, 43 career rushing touchdowns, those packages that Daniel talked about, Lamar Jackson, what he's been able to do. He was package quarterback for Joe Flacco when he was a rookie, so he took over late in that season. You look at a guy like Carson Wentz with the injury concerns, and Jalen Hurts is very happy being a backup. He's a great teammate. He's going to work with Wentz. He's going to be happy in that role. He did it at Alabama with Tua. You get a guy who's a tremendous character guy, tremendous teammate for the Philadelphia Eagles, and particularly Carson Wentz, and a guy who will give you the opportunity with that athleticism. And as I say, 43 career rushing touchdown. You can get him on the field right away as a rookie, even with Carson Wentz as your starting quarterback.
Dude.
How'd that work out for him?
Dude, are you kidding me? I'll never forget. I was like, what? What?
Yeah.
I know it was horrible. I was like, what
They
are we
needed
doing?
receivers, and there was receivers. They needed safety. There were safeties.
I know.
They needed
I mean,
corners.
there was all kinds
There
of
were
players.
corners. And they went, at the time, again, enough with your revisionist history, people. They drafted a backup quarterback that they did not think.
Well, listen, I did not want him. I didn't. You know, I thought it was a horrible pick. You got a starting quarterback. What are you taking another quarterback?
A quarterback that just signed that extension. Like, that was, they just signed it.
Well, either way, it doesn't matter, man.
Hey, man, that's my quarterback.
That's it. How he had that was one of the wildest stories ever. That's still, you think about the crazy stories. That's one for the ages. I'm sorry.
Quarterback factory, man.
Yeah, man. Awesome. All right, we'll get back to the phone line, 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Coming up in an hour, we'll talk to Andre Odom, super agent. We'll talk to our man, and he's got a real busy day ahead of him. And we'll try to get some kind of vibes on what he thinks. Hey, let's talk about your round in years in the NBA playoffs. Butler. Are you kidding me? Jimmy Butler. Going off, man. There's another. Look at this mock. These mocks are crazy. Here's another mock, which I just don't see it. Carolina, Bryce Young. Texans, Will Anderson. Arizona, Paris Johnson.
Ooh.
Colts, Levis. Seahawks, Carter.
Well, so here's the thing.
No Stroud, no Richardson. What?
Remember I told you a few weeks ago there was all of a sudden all this talk that the Texans weren't in love with the quarterbacks, and so they might go with a game changer defensively, and that would be Will Anderson. I think that would still be a mistake to make, especially because you have a second first-round pick. The Cardinals thing, that makes sense. They needed a lineman, but you could trade back.
You got to trade.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Again, the quarterback situation, I don't see how that is possible. I don't see how the quarterbacks don't go. Even Houston, I know you got another pick, but you're sitting there. You need a quarterback. You're going to have your choice of Levis, Stroud, Richardson.
Now, let me throw this by you. So they're 12th overall. Do they go Anderson and then hope for Hooker at 12? And they redshirt. They basically tank another season.
Maybe.
Get another top first-round pick next year. And then you add to a team that you're starting to rebuild.
The thing is, though, and I love Will Anderson, too. We love him, but there's a lot of talk. The more and more I've been talking to personnel guys and coaches, they like Tyree Wilson better.
Okay. So then
I don't know.
Then they go Wilson, right? But then they do the Hooker thing, and they basically
your point
tank
is go
a year.
defense and then come back and grab, Hooker.
Yeah, and then the next year you're still a top 5 pick because you went with the Foreman Mills as your quarterback.
Maybe.
And then next year you're drafting top 5 again.
How much is that? Isn't that wild?
We already know teams tank in the NFL. Hell, the Dolphins were doing it on purpose. Got to the damn lawsuit.
Listen, there's sometimes you got to do that, depending on where your franchise is at, to hit the reset. It's just hitting a reset button is what it is.
And the Texans stink. Now, here's the thing. That division is still kind of up for grabs.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. There's a silly. It's funny. It's like the whole Geno Smith thing. Is Geno Smith going to win you at anything?
No.
So why waste your time? I'm a big believer in that. Like, why waste your time? If you can't win a Super Bowl, then I'd rather rebuild instead of just being so good. Like, at some point, I think that's the issue with Baltimore. Like, when you're killing me with costs with Lamar and the contract, well, then I'm not going to be able to win. And I don't even know if I can win with Lamar. Because he still needs to become a better thrower to win. And then you go, all right, well, you brought up Lamar going to Washington. Like, if I'm Washington, do I really want to go get Lamar Jackson? Because am I ready for Lamar Jackson? Because I need to be really good around him. And then I got to hope.
You have some weapons, though.
Yeah, but you're looking at it strictly from a receiver standpoint. Their offensive line is okay.
Yeah, it's suspect.
It's a bit of a gray beard. And their D line's good, but their back end's not. They're not ready for Lamar. And I got questioned whether or not Lamar Jackson can win.
Yeah, and I feel the same way about that. I look at that team and I go, all right, so you got some talent, but you got Sam Howell, and what's the next move? Like, so
it's like the Giants. Like, I don't get the Daniel Jones piece.
No, and they paid him all that money.
Like, that makes no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever.
Thank God for the Eagles, man.
Thank God for the Eagles. Thank God. You look at the Cowboys. The Cowboys are in flux, too, because Now you got questions about Dak.
Yep, big time.
Dak was terrible last year. Like, if you're a Cowboy fan, you go, so
He led the league in interceptions, and he missed 4 weeks.
What am I doing quarterback-wise? Am I going to stay the course with this? That's fair to ask. Let's go back to the phones, talk to our friends. John, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Hello, John.
Hey, guys. How you doing today? It is.
What's happening, Johnny?
Oh, it's like Christmas for me. I mean, I'm one of the biggest draft geeks that I know of. I mean, I look at next year's future mock. I'm all over the board. Tonight, I just prayed for that I don't have I'm going to throw a rock at my TV moment. Similar to when they took Rieger over Justin Jefferson, when I almost lost my mind. But as far as the draft goes, there's a couple things I'm looking at. I kind of want the defensive players to go early, and that way I think Bijan is an absolute must. I don't care. I'd even move up a couple slots just to make sure I get him. Here's my thinking on this, okay? Ben Franklin was a smart man. He always faced a couple of decisions. If he was in a conundrum, he'd get a slot of paper out and do pros and cons. What is the con of taking Bijan Robinson at 10? There are none. What? You pay him. He's got a 5-year window. I mean, everything. The kid's character's phenomenal, and he's a generational talent. What's Baldy said he got on board in comparison to Christian McCaffrey? We don't have
a slot
receiver.
Wait a second. Baldy's on board with Bijan now?
Yeah. He sat down with LaDainian Tomlinson. They watched film together.
When?
He's completely on board. Like 3 days ago.
This week we were going back and forth.
I know. I wanted to text you, like, hit you up on Twitter. He has totally come around.
I missed it.
Yeah.
Oh, my boy. I love it.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, listen, he should.
You got to be kidding me. Wait, I got the text. I got Baldy's text right here.
No.
I gotta give it to you because you got to be kidding me.
I swear, Ant, I'm telling you right now, he came.
Boy, I hope I disagree with you, cuz I hope the Eagles don't take Bijan. He doesn't look special to me.
I'm telling you, he sat down with LT, I guess, over the NFL Network. They watched it together.
That's good. I give him a lot of credit for adapting your opinion because listen, opinions change.
No, I'm with you. But here's my fear. Like, everyone's like, 10 too high. Maybe slide back to 14. I get that. I would love to acquire more assets. But who's to say somebody just doesn't come up and jump the shark? Tampa Bay had him in for a visit at 17. Who says they don't move up 3 to 4 slots to get him? It's 10. He's a must. He's the pick. Let's get it done. Let's celebrate and give me Kelly Ringo, Cameron Smith at 30.
I like Kelly Ringo, yeah.
Or Emmanuel Forbes. You get Bijan Robinson.
I think Forbes goes, but no, you know what? Yeah, I like Ringo. I like that a lot.
Love Ringo. Let's make it Georgia North. Let's
Cansey, I like too. That was a.
Yeah, that's what Mel Kiper has. Cansey at 30,
and that's what. Yeah, Kevin the Gandhi brought him up yesterday, and I'd be happy with him.
Or Brian Breesy at 30, maybe. So.
Yeah, or there's also a couple edge guys. Those secondary edge guys that I would have interest in too.
I'm with you. I'm so excited. I hope it's a good night. I can't. My heart can't take it.
Let me ask you a question. Is it tonight, John, a
single screen, Ant? Single screen.
Yeah.
This is what we train
I agree.
for, Ant. This is what we train
I agree. You got rid of him. You got rid of John because he's an SS. Single screen.
Let's go to the polls.
He's a single screener.
Let's go to the news desk with Dick Chunas here.
All right, what do you got, Dick?
Is the NFL draft a single screen event, or can you handle watching something else? For example, Celtics Hawks on a second screen. 71% say I go multiple screens. 29% say single screen event. Now, I'm going to add more pain because you're getting just bludgeoned in this poll. I don't agree with this, but Evan Cheney checks in. The draft is mainly a Twitter thing, so the main screen can go to a sporting event. Casey checks in. Draft equals no screen time. I find out everything on Twitter. Dude.
I'm speechless. Speechless.
It's screen. It deserves a screen. It deserves the big screen. It deserves, screen A of your house.
This is heresy. Heresy.
It deserves screen A, but there is allowed to be a screen B during the draft.
Oh my God!
At 3/4 of the people,
so
are
I
saying
can't
that.
even win the main screen, let alone single screen.
Now, I think that's a minority.
Wow.
Like if I put out the poll, is the NFL draft on your main screen today or a secondary screen or no screen at all? I'm sure a majority of people will say main screen.
A Twitter follow? That's it? That's what you deem it to? Shame. Shame. Shame.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
By the way, real quick, another rumor starting. I'm about here. I got to get this music up for at least today. Deal Zone music.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So Dan Graziano is
right.
I don't know if it's necessarily a report or a keep an eye on kind of deal for the Commanders to potentially trade Montez Sweat or Chase Young tonight in the draft. And then package that with something.
Really?
Yeah. Said that on ESPN.
Really?
That starts making me think about the Ravens.
Huh.
Says the Commanders could trade one of their talented pass rushers, either Young or Sweat, during the NFL draft tonight.
That's interesting. I'm just texting some people here, too. And then the between that and the Baldy back on Bijan. How about that? Did you know that, Eunice?
I did not know that. That's
the
cool.
Baldy, I love. That's my man, and he's back on. No, he's on the Bijan train now. He's Ladanian. I told him that freaking 3 weeks ago. No. I go, did you see the catch he made against Alabama? I got crickets.
Maybe he'll give you a shout out on one of his Baldy breakdowns.
I need a shout out from him on a Baldy breakdown. That's not right, Eunice. Seriously. Man. I can't believe that people are going, it's a Twitter event. That's it. That's a wound. That wounds me.
I'm putting up a follow-up poll. What screen will the draft be on tonight?
You're killing me, Tunis. Killing me.
I'm just asking the people. It's main screen.
No, it's all your people. They're not mine.
Well, it's not my people. It's main screen.
Nobody even cares about the
But
draft.
I can go to. No,
Do we not care about it?
It's not that we don't care because I can put on Celtics Hawks on my laptop.
I'm not even talking about you. I'm talking about you. Well, I'll follow on Twitter. All right. We don't care. VT Ron, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Ronnie.
My man, Pots and Pants Tunis. What a great day today. This is the best. This is one of the best days in sports, the first round of the NFL draft. And what are we going to do? But before I say that, I just got to say this. Jimmy! Is he nuts? Tunis, is he just playing out of his mind? He's out of his mind.
He really is.
He's out of his mind. And to go back, and I don't want to go back, and I'm going to stop, but him and Simmons, and you take Simmons? Really? Really?
No, it was never that. It was never that.
One more time. One more time. Jimmy!
Yeah. But it was never Simmons and Jimmy. It was never that. It was Brett. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Jimmy said he wanted Brett out. And the ownership is like, well, you can't tell me that, fire the coach.
Right.
You know?
Well, yeah, I got you. Hey, I got to tell you, if I'm the Eagles and take it for what it's worth, I'm going to try to trade up. There are 4 defensive players in the top 10 that could really be game changers.
Oh, wow, you're a trade-up man. Look at that.
I'm a trade-up, and I'm going to go either Gonzalez, Wilson, Witherspoon, or Carter.
I would not trade up for Witherspoon. I wouldn't do that.
No, you don't like the Spoon?
No. I'm not going to use extra assets. I wouldn't do it for Gonzalez either. Not when I have 2 corners that are resigned. Now, I agree that if they came to me, it's one thing, but to use assets,
so
I got to tell you, brother. I mean, like an edge guy. Like if you tell me that you're going to get one of the edge guys, all right.
I think there's edge guys deeper in the draft, and I think maybe at 30 you may get Van Ness out of Iowa or this kid from Clemson. That Miles Murphy can play, man. He can.
Yeah,
play.
he's a good player. Yeah.
And there's a tackle from Pitt, the Canty kid from Pitt.
Canty, yeah, we talk about a lot of him. Talk a lot about him.
I mean, there's players there, but I think you need a defensive game changer. I really do. I really, really do.
Yeah, but I got Witherspoon's not a game changer. He's a good corner, but I don't think he's a game changer.
Well, out of the 4 players that I told you, I think Carter and Gonzalez are more game changers than Witherspoon. I agree with you there, but I
also think Wilson is way bigger than, way bigger than the others.
Yeah. Well, who's it? Wilson?
Yeah. I love Wilson.
So you love him, and I'll be with you. I'll tell you what, I love Carter. I love Carter. I'm going to put everything else aside. I think he's a game changer too. But listen, I also agree with you on one thing, and I got to ask you a question. Then don't shock me.
Sure.
No running back, no Bijan. I don't want him. The only way I would grab him.
I'll keep quiet.
Listen, the only way I would grab him if Dallas is looking for a running back and Dallas grabs him. I just try to grab him before Dallas would grab him, just to spite him. So.
Are you serious? Why? You have an offense. All right, let me make a case, and you come back because I love you. Man, I think you're a great football man. So it's a great conversation. I just think that with this offense, you got a game changer, a terrific running back. The only hole in your offense is the running back, and he's a 3-down back.
Here's what's going to happen. I got a feeling Howie's going to pull a trade off for a running back. That's what I think is going to happen.
But again, here's the thing, though. Real quick, why would you trade for a running back with tread? I would never do that.
Oh, you mean Dallas trading for him?
No, you said Howie's going to trade for a running back.
No, I never said that. I said Dallas. The only way I would trade for a running back is if Dallas were in line.
No, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do at running back? Is my question to you.
Well, I'm going to go with my running backs I got now, but I still think Howie's going to trade to get a running back.
Well, that's my point. You just said they're going to trade to get it back. Right. Why would you trade to get it back with tread on them?
Because what else are you going to do? If Bijan,
you're going to draft Bijan Robinson and have a guy who's fresh, who you control for 5 years.
Well, then you got to move up to get Bijan because I think Bijan's probably going.
He's not going in the top 10. I don't think so. I don't think so, brother. I don't know. It's so fascinating, though, dude. It's fascinating. I mean, it's incredible. I love the conversation. I mean, maybe you're right. I don't know. You want to trade up? Listen, we'll have all conversations. You know how I feel, but I'm open to all of it. At least you care. Nobody cares, Judas. Nobody cares.
Yeah, we have the second poll up and running. I will give to you on the other side.
Stick your polls.
Excuse me?
Nothing.
Beautiful, Dick.
Get out of here with your polls. I'm thinking,
Screw you, creepo.
I'm thinking, I'm all drafted off, dude.
You could be drafted up and have another screen up.
No! Single screen! No. I said single screen!
We have to figure out the events. There are a few events that acquire single screen.
I will be with you. Single screen events. Okay.
We'll figure that out.
All right. I like it. We'll do it. Let's talk about the BetParx app, shall we? Oh, the BetParx app has you covered in a mighty, 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 mighty big way.
Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic.
All right, 11:48. Don't forget the super agent, my main man, Andre Odom, will join us coming up at 12:20. So, my man Dre, that's my boy. Here's who he has, Tunis. Emmanuel Forbes, Joey Porter Jr., DJ Turner II, Jair Brown, Ronnie Hickman, and Eli Ricks. He's got a nice little stable.
Doing good, man.
Yeah,
Proud
I
of
love
Andre.
Dre. Temple tough.
Yep.
Temple strong.
He's a great dude, too.
He's a tremendous guy. Tremendous. It's crazy.
All right, you're the second poll, by the way. I want to give this to you because people are fired up about this conversation. So the original poll, for people just tuning in, because Anthony believes that the NFL draft is a single-screen event. The question...
I'm actually, just so you know, I'm DVRing the Boston-Atlanta.
Yeah, so you're watching like midnight.
So I can concentrate. And I fell asleep early last night. No, I fell asleep early last night. I was watching Bucks Heat, and I conked out. But tonight I'll be ready.
So the question is, the NFL draft a single-screen event, or can you handle watching something else? For example, Celtics-Hawks on a second screen. 70% say I can go multiple screens, to the 30% that say it's a single-screen event. And then we got a lot of the responses saying it's no screen. People saying I'll just follow along on Twitter tonight, which I find shocking. So I put up a follow-up poll, 975 Middays. What screen will the NFL draft be on at your home? Main TV, secondary screen, or following along on Twitter? This will make you happy. 71% say main TV. But
okay, all right.
Secondary screen is not the second leading vote getter. Following along on Twitter gets 16%. Secondary screen gets 13%.
Wait a second. One more time.
71% say main screen. 16% say Twitter. Following along on Twitter. 13% say secondary screen.
Okay. I just don't get the follow along on Twitter. What do you think that's about? Is that how we consume events like that? That they don't want to see any fluff?
Well,
they just want to know who the pick is?
So one of the responses was
Seriously,
going...
leave the smart-ass comments alone.
Right.
To the side.
This is Michael.
Why would you do that?
Michael says, Boston, Atlanta, main screen tonight. Draft is a bunch of nonsense for 98% of the time and doesn't need sound.
All right. Wow.
Coldest Trayer says Hawks Celtics main screen. As a Sixers fan, it feels good to see the Celtics with their backs against the wall, fighting for their lives. I get the notifications on who goes where in the draft.
Do you like the story of the draft, I guess?
Yeah, because there's so much to it, and there's going to be trades and a lot of moving parts. Like, the draft is an awesome day. It's an awesome 3 days, but, I mean, the first round's ridiculous.
First round is the best. Listen,
Yeah.
I like all 3 days, too. But Thursday, Friday is the best.
Yes.
You know what's funny? Years ago, when I was on the air, it was me and Glenn at the other station. And I said, this is when the draft was Saturday. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I said I proposed a 7-day draft. I did.
Of course you did.
I proposed a 7-day draft. I said that there would be we'd have the first round, then the second round, then the whole thing. And then I ended with like a draft day extravaganza. You know? Like, how great is that?
I could do without 7 days.
But I was right about that. That they would breaking up the days.
Yeah, because they needed to. And now that it's become like a festival, I could see them adding a fourth day, right? Like I could see them doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday instead of doing rounds 4 through 7 on one day. You go 4 and 5 and then 6 and 7.
Yeah.
And that's the cheapest day, right? The cheapest day is round 6 and 7 because it's the back end of the draft, but it's an extra day for whatever city's hosting the draft to make more money for their economy, which is great, right? So I could see it becoming a 4-day event.
Yeah. Yeah, I again, I just think it's a party like that, you know? I just think it's the draft party. I love it. So I'm curious, if you believe that the draft is just a Twitter event, what don't you not like to consume the whole thing? Like, I'm just curious about why you would say that. That's all.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. I mean, we can ask people to chime in for the people that are. Ryan checks in. Picks on Twitter are 3 minutes before the TV. Maybe that's why.
Right.
Right. I mean, you see it all the time. NBA draft. It's the picks are out there already. They have to word it weird ways. Like Shams doesn't say, the Sixers are drafting Tyrese Maxey. It's the Sixers are heavily interested in Tyrese Maxey wearing their jersey. Right. Like because there was a rule that they put out, but they found out like a way to, mix it up.
Get around it. Right.
Yeah. Because they're still trying to do their job. They don't care about your enjoyment.
Yeah.
So today is actually a put the phone down day because I don't want to be scrolling on Twitter and being spoiled of a pick.
You
don't want to know the 5th overall pick, while the team that's drafting 4th is on the clock. That takes away from the enjoyment on TV.
Agreed. I just got a text from somebody that the Eagles would have interest, I can't believe it, in Njigba, the receiver from Ohio State.
Why?
I don't understand that.
I mean, okay, I'll say this. It's kind of it's not the same as Bijan Robinson, but you're just bolstering an already ridiculously good offense. So maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, this is like a pretty plugged in dude.
I wouldn't do it, but I could see why they go, look, we're going to be able to piecemeal the running backs with the guys that we have. We're just going to continue to add. We don't have a slot receiver right now because they don't.
Yeah.
And instead of paying for a veteran, it's like drafting Jalen Hurts. They didn't want to pay for a veteran backup quarterback. Instead of paying for a veteran slot receiver, they now have Njigba come in to play alongside A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Smith is probably going to get paid in the next couple of years. Who knows if they can afford him with what they're paying A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, and other guys on offense.
Njigba, I can't believe that. I got to tell you, maybe, it's funny Jamie said that. I didn't see it. I don't see it, especially when I could use the running back. I don't know. That's an interesting. Could the Eagles be taking a receiver? I just think that's honestly, I think that's crazy.
I wouldn't do it. I could see the reasoning though. It's kind of like it's also the offensive line thing. You're thinking about a year ahead. Maybe Devontae Smith they can't afford. You going to pay $100 million for 2 receivers?
Well, wait a second. You got when's he up? You still got 2 more years of.
Yeah, but you know how it's going to start. They start the contract talk next season.
That's only the extension talk. I mean, you got him for 5 years. You control him. If you take him in the first round, you take him for 5 years. You got him for 5 years.
Or they don't think A.J. Brown plays out the contract? I don't know.
This is his 3rd year coming up. You got to worry about wide receiver now?
I wouldn't do it.
It doesn't make sense to me. I don't. Now, again, there could be a trade. People were talking about a trade with the Packers. We had talked about like, the fact that Green Bay would want to get up to get the receiver in Jigba. So the Packers move up. You get the Packers' second round pick, right? I mean, that's possible. So when Jigba goes to 10, then you're at what? Where are the Packers? 13?
Are they 13 or 15 after the trade? They're 13. Because they swapped.
So you do that. You go back to 13, and you're at 13. Well, 13, don't you take Bijan?
Yeah, and if you get a pick out of that too, of course.
So, but still, interesting.
Oh, this could be the smoke part of it.
Yeah.
You know, Packers start hearing this. Oh man, they really want our guy.
Yes.
It's all for a deal now.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, hold on. This is just why I love this stuff, dude. It's a freaking poker game. It's awesome. All right, let's get to the phones. Mark, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Mark.
Yo, cuz, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Mark, do me a favor. Hold on one second. I just got to give the keyword because it's 97.5 The Fanatic's $1,000 gift card giveaway. Your chance to win a $1,000 gift card to anywhere you want. And the keyword right now is spend. S-P-E-N-D. Spend. Text the word spend to 45911. Text the word spend, as in I spend too much money on food to feed Aunt and Moss. Spend, S-P-E-N-D. 3 ways to play. You can enter it again, 45911. When you text it, enter the keyword on the Fanatic app or at 97.5thefanatic.com. 97.5 The Fanatic's $1,000 gift card giveaway presented by American Standard HVAC Contractors. To find a dealer, visit AmericanStandardAir.com. One person selected at random will win. Get complete rules of this company-wide contest at 97.5thefanatic.com. Good luck. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it, my brother.
No problem, brother. How you doing?
Good. This is wild, man. All this stuff is fantastic.
I mean, this day is just incredible, right? The energy, you wake up, ready to rock, dude.
Yeah.
Listen, I love the Njigba Smith, the Njigba Smith River, and I love that you said this is a plugged-in guy. In all the years past of these drafts, I'll always just go the super practical route. Like in all reality, man, I want to move up for a guy like Anderson or Carter because we have to replace 11 sacks and 60 tackles that we lost from Javon Hargrave. People forget about that. That guy, he didn't get a lot of love because defensive tackle, but I mean, losing him, Carter to fill that role is realistically, I feel, our biggest need at the end of the day. But I mean, if you can get a guy like Njigba Smith, like I said yesterday, I mean, Jalen Hurts will literally be playing Madden every time he takes a snap. It's going to be nuts. And everyone compares Bijan to LT, and that's great. But did LT ever win a Super Bowl for the Chargers? When is the big backs, all those big name backs, Saquon and all those other guys, like when have they actually?
Yeah, but here's my argument. Here's my argument to you about that.
I got you.
LaDainian was the focal guy. Like if I go get Bijan Robinson, I mean he's a part of an offense that includes 2 elite receivers, an elite tight end, and a great offensive line. And none of those guys that you mentioned had that. They were built around pieces. Those were the guys that they built around. I'm not building around Bijan Robinson. I'm plugging in him to already great weapons. And I got a quarterback that can move, that helps my running game. So that's all.
I can't disagree at all. I mean, realistically, we get either of these guys and plug in the offense, it's going to be nuts. But I have this weird feeling, man. I feel like we might go jump for one of these dudes, whether it's Carter or Anderson. I don't know why. It's just losing Hargrave to me is a really, really big piece that kind of gets overlooked because he plays the defensive line. But, I mean, if you're able to grab Carter or Anderson, those are going to be cornerstones of your defense that are just going to be down the line. Obviously, same with Bijan.
Right.
Easily in the offense for 5 years. But
listen, if you got one of those players, you came away somehow with one of those players, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm happy. Like I feel great about it. Yeah.
Because I can't do a Van Ness or a Murphy though, brother. I can't.
I agree.
I just can't. the only way I think the whole fan base is going to be pretty upset if we do a Van Ness or a Murphy at 10 or trade back for any of those guys. But it's crazy. I usually am so against wide receiver, but then the Jigma kid, just thinking about that offense, man, that is a scary sight for the National Football League.
Yeah. I hear you. I just think it's going to be. I don't think they're going to trade up, and I think the trade with Green Bay makes a lot of sense. That's what my plugged-in guy who said the Eagles are chatting up in Jigba, I think is squarely to entice Green Bay to make the trade. That sounds like
smart football move.
That sounds, because then you get their second-round pick, right? So you would have Green Bay's second-round pick to move up 3 spots. They have to go get. Listen, they need a receiver bad, right?
Oh yeah.
You got your young quarterback. You got to give him a weapon, and that makes a lot of sense. That the Eagles are sitting there going, "Hey, we need a slot guy. Hello, we need a slot guy." I love that at Jigba. Like, that's a Howie. And if you remember, I think I told you off the air about the smokescreen thing. When I told you no Henry,
yes,
you remember that?
Yes.
That sometimes smokescreens work for you, and sometimes it's to your interest not to dispel a rumor.
I get what you're saying.
Gabish.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I think this could be it. I think that's a strong possibility. So Green Bay moves up to 10. Eagles go back to 13. They get an extra second-round pick. And if they go to 13, Bijan's there. I don't think he's going top 10.
Yeah, and then that's the best of both worlds, which we've been talking about all day.
If he was able to do that, Howie for president, baby. Kevin, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Kev.
How you doing, guys?
Hello, Kev.
Hey, can you hear me?
I got you, brother.
Okay, man. You guys are awesome right now. Thank you for taking my call. But I just got to get on this freaking watching the NFL draft thing. It's driving me nuts. I cannot believe people are saying Twitter. I am not a Twitter bug, number one, so that bugs the heck out of me. Number two, how can you have any less than 2 televisions? And I'm not talking just any devices. And that's another conversation, what devices you're looking on. But to me, I got you guys on the radio tonight. I got 2 55s rolling. And I got my computer on.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going 3 screens.
Yeah, baby. I love it.
You got to be right.
I think you love it.
You got to get your juice from the 95. You're going NFL Network. You're going also, with some other local, draft knowledge type of thing. And then you're freaking on the computer looking stuff up. And real quick, I like BJ, but I agree with you. We may want to go DE or DT. So I'll let you guys take it from there. I love you guys. You're great. I apologize for not remembering the name of the co-pilots, but you guys are awesome too.
Listen,
you guys.
We appreciate it, brother. You kidding me? And I love the fact that you're the way you watch it. Thank you, brother.
One more thing. This whole thing about not being prepped for the draft. If you're not got your jersey on that just came from the dry cleaners with your favorite player on it, and you ain't ready to do Eagles chants before the pick and after, you shouldn't be watching because you're not a real fan. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm standing.
Oh, man, I'm not a real fan. I'm not wearing an Eagles jersey today, Ant.
It's all right. I love his passion.
Got a green shirt on. Does that count?
Yeah. I got a green. Actually, I have one.
I got green shirt, black jeans today.
Yeah, I got a hoodie on. But that's all I wear now because I don't leave the house. Is the hoodie.
So he's going 3 screens.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So you're cool with him going 3 screens, but you're not cool with 2 screens.
What do you mean?
Well, you said you loved his setup, which was 3 screens.
I love 2, 3. I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's nice.
I thought you said it was single screen tonight.
That's me. I'm a loser, dude. What can I tell you? I'm not barking at anybody else. I'm just a single screener. Right? That's it. I'm a single screener. That's it.
All right, what are your single screen events?
All right, I go
Super Bowl. Yeah.
Any Philadelphia playoff team.
Yes. I think that's a given.
Playoff game.
Yeah.
All right. Any Philadelphia playoff game, I go.
I guess non-Philadelphia is the big one.
Okay, so we're taking Philadelphia out of the quiz.
Yeah.
All right, Super Bowl. Does the tournament? I guess the tournament doesn't count because
you're going multiple screens to watch the tournament.
I'll give you the college championship game.
Yes.
Can I come up with 10 single screen events?
Doubt it.
That's my mission.
I highly doubt it.
All right, let me think. I got to think about it. Let me get Sags up here. Sagaroo!
What's going on, boys?
What do you say, Sagaroo?
I don't know, man. You know what? First of all, following the draft on Twitter is like a major violation. How could you do that? You're not a real fan if you're following it on Twitter. That's number one.
I mean, people watch, they consume different things. It breaks my heart.
Oh, it's terrible. And you know what? This is such a great day because you have the anticipation. I can see Howie now. He's in his laboratory cooking up all these trades. You got the Frankenstein monster laying on the table. He's like a mad scientist. I love it. He makes it so much more. The anticipation is so much more because you never know what Howie's going to do. Now, can I talk about some talent?
Of course. I need you to talk talent. You are a great O-line man.
All right, let's start with the O-line.
The old ball coach that you are, Woodrow Wilson.
I watched a lot of film on Skronsky, and I just don't like him. I don't like him as a tackle. I don't like his feet. I think if you're going to draft, first of all, I wouldn't draft him at 10. If you're going to move back and get him, that's a different story, or move up from 30 to get him. But I think he's got to play guard. I don't think he can play tackle in the NFL. I just don't think he has the physical tools. And I don't like Paris at all. I don't like his feet. I think he can get beat on the edge. And he's such a big body that he starts moving out on the edge. They make the move inside on him. I don't think he's going to have the quickness to make that adjustment. Now, I like the kid Broderick Jones from Georgia. He's like a pile driver, that kid. I like him a lot. And that's like my top three linemen. As far as edge rushers go, I think that Will Anderson is like the best by far. And I like Tyree Wilson, but I don't like him as much as you. I'll tell you who I like and would be a value pick later is that Miles Murphy from Clemson. I like the way the kid plays.
Yeah.
Definitely like him. As far as the running back goes, since we signed Jalen to such a big contract, and I know how he did a great job structuring it, but you have to realize that now we're going to have to build with cheaper players. And the best way to get cheaper players is through the draft. I love this kid, Bijan. I love this kid. He can do it all. He can run the ball between the tackles. He can get outside. He catches balls down the field. He can block. He picks up the blitz. And you know what? To add him to that offense, I don't want any more wide receivers. To add him to that offense, it would be unstoppable. I really believe that. I think he's a real talent. He's a game changer, and I would love to see us get him. I just hope they can get him. If I heard you talking about them moving to 13, I hope they can get him there. And as far as defensive tackles go, I agree with you. I wouldn't take a defensive back in this draft.
No.
Even the kid from Witherspoon, Witherspoon is good. I really don't like Gonzalez. I'm soured on the Pac-12. I don't like any defensive players coming out of the Pac-12. I just, after Sidney Jones, give me a break. Take some time off from the Pac-12.
Yeah, I'm with you. I completely agree. I think it's a great assessment, Sagaroo. Great assessment. All right, lots to get to. 610-632-0975. We got our buddy, one of the great agents, local guy. He's my main man. You heard him years ago. Meat Locker veteran. My man, Andre Odom, will join us coming up next. Right here as we hang out. Cuz Radio Tunis. No, we talking LaBruciano. Do me a favor. Go outside, look at your house. Turn around. Seriously, walk outside, look at your house tonight when you get home from work or right now if you can, and see what it looks like. Has it lost its curb appeal? If so, do yourself a solid and call my main man.
Anthony!
That's him, not me. Anthony LaBruciano, the shingle master. Now, here's the deal with Anthony. So if your house, I don't know, you got drafty windows, LaBruciano's got you covered. Is your siding cracked, missing, maybe showing some signs of mold? LaBruciano has you covered. You got a tired, leaky roof? LaBruciano has you covered. It's no wonder LaBruciano Roofing Exteriors was named Contractor of the Year for the entire Mid-Atlantic region by Certainteed. With LaBruciano Roofing Exteriors, they're going to fix your roof right the first time, on budget. They're going to make your home look brand new. Just call them. Trust Anthony's hundreds of 5-star Google reviews. He's the best. LaBruciano Roofing Exteriors. Call him 610-265-ROOF. That's 610-265-ROOF. Or go to PARoofPros.com. PARoofPros.com.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Draft day. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this update is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Your small business keeps you on the go. Progressive Commercial Insurance keeps your policy within reach with their easy-to-use mobile app. Learn more at ProgressiveCommercial.com. It is round one of the NFL Draft tonight, and the Sixers currently have the Eagles currently have 2 first-round picks 10 and 30 overall. We'll be talking to Andre Odom coming up next at 12:20. He joins the Cuz for more on the NFL Draft. And the Sixers, who I just accidentally said about the draft, the Sixers will find out tonight if they're taking on the Boston Celtics in the second round or if they're going to have to wait another game because the Hawks could force a Game 7. Game 6 taking place in Atlanta. Game 1 of the second round series, we do know, will take place Monday, May 1st. Phillies come from behind against the Mariners yesterday. They look to win the series this afternoon. Keep it locked in the Fanatic for all latest news and information. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this is 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Rizza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new place. Nothing is everything.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
You know, whether you're a weekend DIYer or a professional landscaper, you know the name Paul B. Moyer & Sons. They've got everything you need to create the perfect outdoor space, from blowers and trimmers to mowers and chainsaws, like the new Gravely zero-turn mower, which delivers more comfort, more speed, more precision. For the best outdoor power equipment in the business, it's Paul B. Moyer & Sons. Parts, service. Shop Paul B. Moyer & Sons in Doylestown or their new location in Jamison, PA. Online at paulbmoyer.com. Be sure to tell them that Kincaid sent you.
Voting is your most important right. It gives you the power to decide our city's future, but you have to be in the know to vote. That's why AARP Philadelphia has collected all the most up-to-date voting information. Check out aarp.org/PHLMayor to get all the key dates and deadlines for the May 16th primary election, including how to register, apply for a mail-in or absentee ballot.
Draft day. Let's talk about the BetParks app. Yes, the BetParks app has you covered. Don't forget, we're going to do a little big brain on Brad a little bit later tonight. Cuz's Corner leading you up to the draft. You know, we're going to talk heavy draft tonight, Big Brain and I. But all your betting action for all the baseball, all the NBA playoffs, all the NHL is right there on the BetParks app. So what do you say about a little Atlanta Hawks tonight? Well, it's all possible. Check out the BetParks app for everything. They got you covered in every which way. BetParks.com has all the details. Like new customers, you bet $10, you win. You get $125 in sportsbook bonus. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Ohio. You got to be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Getting closer to the start of the draft, I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this update is brought to you by the Parks Racing Sportsbook inside Chickies and Pizza in Malvern. Grab lunch at Chickies and Pizza this Friday with the cousin myself, the Chunas, and place your bets at the Parks Racing Sportsbook inside Chickies and Pizza in Malvern. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Tonight is round one of the NFL draft. The Eagles hold on to 2 picks right now. Picks 10 and 30. We'll find out what they do during the draft. It's going to be a wild day. Already rumors of the Titans trading up from 11 to 3 with the Cardinals. That was per Diana Rossini. The Titans would then draft a quarterback. There's talks from Dan Graziano of ESPN that the Commanders could trade one of their 2 pass rushers, Montez Sweat or Chase Young. Doesn't say to who or for what, but there's a lot of speculation about Lamar Jackson. So there's all kinds of stuff going on in the NFL. It's going to be a crazy night. Looking forward to it. It's also going to be a crazy night in the NBA as the Celtics and Hawks continue to play their series. Game 6 tonight in Atlanta. Hawks force the Game 6, which means the Sixers will be starting their second round playoff series Monday, May 1st. We'll find out tonight if it's against Boston or if Atlanta could force a Game 7. This update is also brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Your small business keeps you on the go. Progressive Commercial Insurance keeps your policy within reach with their easy-to-use mobile app. Learn more at progressivecommercial.com. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this is 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
run faster. Very theatrical, cinematic. So here's what I'm hearing. All right. Now I think you should play the other music now, the Deal Zone music. Yes. So here's what I'm hearing. So I'm hearing that Jalen Carter is going to go top 5. And that would mean
it's got to be Seattle, right?
That Seattle would have to take Carter. And then I hear that the corners go 6 and 7.
Really?
And then comes 8 in Atlanta. So theoretically, we could have 3 quarterbacks go in the top 4. And then you have Atlanta, Chicago, and the Eagles. Now, does Atlanta take Bijan? Now, Baldy says that. Baldy goes, he's not going to get past Atlanta. Now, all of a sudden, my boy's all about Bijan. I don't think that's smart. If I'm the Falcons, I don't take Bijan there. I got too much need. I need. Why would you go running back there if you're the Falcons? Now, granted, I'm trying to push it to our way, but seriously, if I'm looking objectively, why in the world would you do that, Chris?
All right, let me ask you something real quick. I don't know why they would do that. It makes no sense. They need to build in a lot other areas than running back. They have a lot of issues, that team. They've needed to draft a quarterback for the last 5 years. I don't understand what that organization is doing. But let me ask you. That means if the quarterbacks are going 1 through 4, and Carter's 5, and 6 and 7 are the corners, Tyree Wilson's still there at 8. And if they go Bijan, you just have to hope Chicago doesn't take him. So I'll ask you, Tyree Wilson or Bijan? Would you sacrifice Bijan by him going to Atlanta to get Wilson?
I mean, you got to start edge guy.
Right?
Like, you got to start edge guy. I mean, I want Bijan, but I mean, you know.
Wait, hold on a second. So what you're hearing is quarterbacks
and
first 4?
And the Bears go O-lineman.
What you're hearing is quarterbacks first 4?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, where's Will Anderson going?
I got Will Anderson going 2nd.
To Houston. Okay, that's right. But Wilson could be on the board at 10 if that's how it plays out.
Yeah, because here's one of them is going to be available at 10. This is so interesting. So interesting. This is fascinating, dude, this draft. Fascinating. Because you could be sitting there and Tyree Wilson is going to be on the board. That's entirely possible.
Sure, you wouldn't hate that.
No. This is incredible. All right. Let's that's wild. That's just absolutely wild. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. I'm just trying, you know what I'm trying to do right now? I'm trying to think who at 10, like what the Eagles at 10 will be looking at. Let's go to Chris. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Hey, Chris.
God, draft
say,
day,
buddy?
baby.
Yeah, it's the greatest. Ain't it, brother?
Oh, my God. We're all lathered up. Putting the beers in the cooler right now.
Yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Oh, man. So, what do you think? Do you think Howie would go up over Atlanta, or do you think Atlanta's just posturing to try to get Howie up over Atlanta?
I don't think it. I think it's the Green Bay. I think it's the. I don't think there's anything to the Eagles trading up.
Okay.
I don't think that's happening.
I think the Atlanta thing is so bizarre. I couldn't agree more with you. Like, it's the same thing the Giants did with Saquon. Like, you're not going to, like, if you're taking that guy, by the time his contract's up, your team's not going to be ready to go.
I just don't. I think that's the dumbest thing in the world for them to go Bijan Robinson. I do. I don't even know where Baldy should hate it. I love my man. I don't know
Baldy came around the last 2 weeks.
I know he did. I know.
All of a sudden, he's on board.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't get a yo, cuz you're right. Oh, LaDainian told me. Okay.
Yeah.
I know I'm my own team, but,
you don't have eyeballs.
Right. Yeah, come on, man. Come on, bro.
Well, I mean,
all kidding aside, when you look at, so if you go, I'll throw it to you. So say you got three quarterbacks going to 4, right? And Will Anderson. Sure. And then you got at 5, you go Carter. 6 and 7 are the corners. Falcons, I mean, I still can't believe that they would go Bijan. The Falcons say the Falcons go Tyree.
Well, they got to be going O-line, aren't they?
The Bears are going to go O-line too.
Right. I mean, you've got Paris Johnson, you've got Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Skoronski. I'm not a Skoronski guy, but
I know everybody loves him. Yeah.
Everybody loves him. There's 3 guys right there.
I mean, you got your best O-line prospect is going to be there at 8, and you pass that up for a running back?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense. And you could make the argument that hey, maybe you should go edge with Tyree Wilson on the board if you're Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
how crazy is this?
It's nuts, man. Hey, to the Phillies real quick. They got a couple guys coming up in the farm system too. This kid McFarland that they got from Miami.
Oh, really?
He's he was I think he was a starter for them, but he's like a low 3/4 slot guy from the right side, and I believe his slider graded out like an 80 when he came out, like absolute wipeout pitch. Now he was like 94, 96. He was just up to 100 like 2 weeks ago. So that's going to be a guy.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he's going to be legit.
What's his name?
Alex McFarland.
Wow.
And they got another kid down there from the right side he reminds me a little bit of Lidge, the way his slider moves. So,
really?
Yeah. He had some command issues in low A, but then he figured it out last year, and he should push double A this year. Forget his name.
McFarland kid. That's interesting to me.
Yeah. We got some guys coming in the system. Hey, I got a food spot for you real quick before I blow out.
Yeah. What do you got?
Stone Rose, Conshohocken.
What is it?
So they changed their menu. I've had some of the best meatballs I've ever had were at the Stone Rose.
Really?
Yes. But they have just pretty typical American fare, but they just jazzed it up a little bit. They have an 18-ounce bone-in pork chop that's outrageous and phenomenal.
You can't go wrong with the bone-in pork chop.
Nah, the bone, just rip it off.
That's a meat locker piece right there, bro.
It is. That's a meat locker piece, man. So they got some great fries they got there, and then they've got what's the other piece? I'm blanking on the other piece, but the pork chop, the meatballs, the fries, some of the best I've had. So enjoy the draft, brother. Love you guys.
Oh man, love you too, brother. Love you too. Oh my God. That's funny. Do you think? Let me ask you a question. If you're the Eagles at 10, do you go Paris Johnson if he's still there?
I don't want to, and it's more so my own personal issue. I can't have either another player who won't play, which I know you could put him probably in at right guard, but that then means Cam Jurgens is now sitting on the bench for 2 years. And he was your second-round pick last year. Comes a time where I'm going to need you to start drafting players who are going to play right away. So Johnson could, but now it's another year of Jurgens sitting.
Right.
And before you know it, Jurgens' contract's coming up, right? He's going to play, what, one season under his rookie deal?
Yeah.
Not that I necessarily trust Jurgens at right guard just yet, but, you know, you're there. You're already a good team. Plug in some other areas right now. So that'd be my own personal reason why I wouldn't want
it. You got tremendous value. I mean, that's the one thing. The value is there. I mean, you're getting one of the best, O-line prospects in the draft at 10. I mean, even Broderick Jones. That's why I don't think he's going to be there because I think the Bears take him at 9. And you got Broderick Jones there too. Like that's another thing. Wow. This draft is just completely, going wild. All right. You like a bone-in pork chop?
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah. I'd mess around with that. Oh man.
I know you.
I told you I was at a place not too long ago in the Pittman area, and somebody got the pork chop when I was sitting at the bar. And I was like, dude, that looks so good. Had like a sauce on with some mushrooms on top. I'd mess around with it.
Damn.
It was on a skillet.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Looked great, dude. Came out with that sizzle.
Yeah, I love the sizzle, dude. The sizzle's the best. You got to love that, man, for sure. All right, let's get back to the phones. Naeem, what's going on, Naeem? What's happening, buddy? Oh, Will. What's up, Will? Yo, Will. Will. How about D? You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Hey, D.
Yo, what's going on, yo?
What's happening, D? What's going on? You ready for tonight?
Oh, I'm ecstatic. I'm not like y'all though. I'm not sold on staying at 10. So let's talk about. We go off what y'all talked about just now, right? Let's say Bryce Young goes number 1. Number 2, y'all had
Will Anderson.
Will Anderson.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3 becomes, what do? Do they trade out of that pick? Or do they
I think number 3 is a trade, right? I think Arizona has to trade to try to get a quarterback, right? So I think that's when Levis goes.
You think Levis goes there? You think you got to have Levis going before Richardson?
Yes.
All right. So let's keep it like that, right? So if you're looking at that, the top 3
Colts go Richardson at 4.
But that means C.J. Stroud is still available.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, all right, if one of these quarterbacks is there at 10, everyone's going to try to get over Tennessee. That number 10 pick becomes super valuable.
Yeah, I do. I'm like you. I trade. I agree with you.
I trade out of that pick. I don't care who's on the only way I don't trade out of that pick is if Jalen Carter falls or if you get a Tyree.
Oh, no. I think, D, you're spot on. If you're at 10, because here's the other thing, too. They may trade out of there with Green Bay for Njigba.
Either one of those. Because I'm big on, I personally think, look, if we don't get Carter, I would love Bijan, but 10 is entirely too high. If we trade with Green Bay at 13 and we're before the Patriots, you can go a couple different ways. You can go grab a corner because I'm pretty sure Joey Porter Jr. will still be there. You still have Brian Branch on the board, and if Bijan's still there at 13, you got a chance with that too. And then you still have a chance at the tackles. Like, to me, that it just makes more sense to trade back.
Oh, no. Believe me, I agree. You know what? This has been like a one long running sentence. Like this has kind of been what it's been on, a run-on sentence. But where we've been talking all day. I think they trade. I've been saying this all day, really, for all week. I think that they're going to trade out of 10. That's my. If I had to bet, I think they trade out of it because I think there's going to be opportunities for them to trade.
I can't see them at 10 with one of the top 4 quarterbacks still on the board, someone not trading up to come get them. Be it Will Levis, be it C.J. Stroud. One of them 4 is going to be in the top. One of them 4 all four should be going in the top 10. And that pick becomes so valuable, and you can get so much more. You know, we only have.
So no, if you're
Atlanta,
Atlanta, let me ask you a question. If you're the Falcons, I just don't understand. I know you got Ritter, but if one of those the fourth quarterback, whether it's Stroud or Richardson, I think it's going to be Stroud. If that's the case, don't you take in your Atlanta? How do you leave Stroud there? And
I think with Atlanta, they're trying to give Ritter every possible chance to be successful with the weapons that they picked over the last.
So you think it's a tank piece in Atlanta?
I think they're doing the same thing the Eagles did with Jalen Hurts. Let's give him a shot with the weapons we have because they've addressed every position so far. He has weapons. They got Kyle Pitts. They got a receiver last year in Drake London. So they got people. They have talent. Let's see what he can do with it, and then go from there. If he doesn't,
do you believe in Ritter?
Look, he was a winner. We said the same thing. He was a winner at Cincinnati. He was a winner.
Yeah, but again, Jalen's got physical tools that Ritter does not.
He doesn't, but he's a winner. And a winner's hard to come by. So I would give him a chance. I'm not even gonna lie. I would give him a chance.
I don't like him, but all right.
I would give him a chance because I think it's a crapshoot with once you get past Bryce Young, and honestly, I don't trust Ohio State quarterbacks, so I'm not a fan of C.J. Stroud.
But again, take the Buckeyes out of the equation, right?
He got the tools.
You got to admit, he's 6'4". He can run. He's got a great arm. You just got to teach him how to play.
But that's been a going thing for all Ohio State quarterbacks.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's a little different than the past. And I grant you that there have been. I mean, listen, God rest his soul. What's his name? Got killed. It was a horrible story. But there have been a lot of busts out of there. But I can't lump because there's been busts before him. I can't, all of a sudden condemn Stroud. I lose you?
Oh, yes, he's not there.
Okay. All right. I could talk about this stuff all day, Tunis. Where's Tony Taxi? Tony Taxi's there. What's going on, TT?
You know I'm here, baby boy. I can't wait. We're all here for this. But I'm going a whole different way, man. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. If there's any truth to that rumor they traded out with Green Bay, I'm doing it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And if Bijan's your man, okay, you take him. But for me, if I'm sitting at 10, first of all, we got no sacks in the Super Bowl. I'm going to pick up Myles Murphy at 10, and there's no way in the world I let Isaiah Foskey slip past 30. And if you can pick up an extra 2 for moving back 3 spots, then you get the best receiver in Tank Dell. If you watched him in the combine, nobody could get a hand on him. He's between a Deshaun Jackson and a Tyreek Hill. I pick him up, and if you lose Bijan, you get Roshan Johnson. So you don't lose out. You get the 2 best DNs in the draft. The heck with Tyreek. You got Myles Murphy on one side and Isaiah Foskey. You don't get that. So they got so many possibilities in directions they can go in. But I'm definitely trading out. I'm trading out. Ain't no way I'm sitting there and just taking 3 or 4 players. I'm not doing that. I'm trading out and getting that extra 2.
Yeah, I think that has to happen.
I
mean, when you look at how the top 10 is going to go, I don't see how it doesn't happen. Right? Like I don't see how any of that. I don't see how any of it happens. It doesn't happen. I mean,
but can you imagine that Myles Murphy and Foskey bookends? That's good for the next 7-8 years.
Where are you taking Murphy?
I'm taking Murphy at 10 because he ain't gonna be there at 30, and everybody's sleeping.
That's too high. That's too high.
That's too high. Isaiah Foskey, first
too high for Murphy. Too high.
You think?
Yeah.
Have you seen
I really
Isaiah
do.
Foskey?
I mean, honestly, I love you. You know that, TT. But
I know.
I think it's too high for Murphy.
He's an animal. But Foskey is the best athlete of anybody in this draft. I definitely.
I love your certainty. Like you come on and you give me good certainty. Like you talking absolutes, man. I love it, TT.
And you remember I took Christian Watson last year? You see what he did?
Yeah, look, Christian Watson's been through. Listen, and then he started to catch the football. He gets wide open, that's for sure. So listen. Yeah. I give you mad props on Christian Watson.
That's okay. You know I'm gonna be calling you next week, bro.
I love it. I love it, TT. You're a good man. Good stuff, buddy. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Is your head exploding? Because mine is.
Yeah, but thank God there's only one segment left. This may be the fastest moving show ever.
Yeah, I can't keep up. And I wish it would go on all day. I could go right up to 2. I'm back later, so it'll be fun. 6 to 7, I got another hour. We do Cousins Corner all drafted up. We'll geeked out. All right. Let's talk about some fun. This is fun, but also let's talk. right. As we begin the last segment of the program, we'll be back, of course, at 6. But let me tell you something. This is pretty amazing, Tunis. Trying to suss it all out. After all this chatter, I come up with the same conclusion. The Eagles have to trade. They have to trade. Don't you think?
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, but that's kind of been what I've been wanting this entire time. Now, it's greedy. Greed is good. To still get a guy like Bijan Robinson, but to also acquire another second-round pick or, whatever they do. Maybe it's a second-round pick for the next year, but they can get a 4 for this year, which they're going to need because right now they have nothing in rounds 4 through 6, and then they have 2 7th-round picks. So I'm greedy. I want to trade back, and I still want to get Bijan Robinson. But I don't know who's going to fall. That's the other thing. Like, we just went a couple segments ago, started talking about Tyree Wilson potentially falling to 10. And if that's the case, then I'm not moving anywhere. I'm picking him up right now because now you have him going on the other side of Hassan Reddick, and BG's still doing his, 25% of snaps or whatever the number was for him. And that continues to build the interior or the defensive line, offensive line. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I know.
It really depends on how the board works out. And the rumors are going to start flowing like crazy. I mean, right away this morning we had the Diana Rossini report that Tennessee's trying to trade up to 3.
Yeah.
And if they trade up to 3, right now Arizona is at 11, and that's one of the defensive players that now survives. Because we've had, when we did our mock draft yesterday with Kevin, we had Arizona taking Will Anderson.
So I think Will's going too. And
that's a possibility. It's been like that there's been rumors about Texans doing that for a while. And I have the master plan, if I'm Houston, of drafting Will Anderson too, and then you take Hooker with your second picks. They have 2 picks in the first round. You redshirt them. You basically tank another year, and you have another top 5 pick next season. Kind of works out perfectly for them because they're not in a position to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now you have your franchise quarterback to work with, and you've got some talent defensively. By the way, D'Amico Ryans is the head coach, so defensive mind there.
Right.
And I'm sure he would want a Will Anderson.
Yeah, sure. You kidding me? All right, let's get back to the phone lines because we have B-Ball Paul checking in, Judas.
Out the mud, man. He had a great game to close out that series against Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. All right, let's go to my man VG. VG, are you in NOLA?
Yeah, what's up, Judas and Cuz? How you all doing?
What's happening, man?
Just checking in from New Orleans, the Big Easy, hanging out down here.
What are you thinking, man? How is it down there? I love New Orleans. What a great city.
I think I'm still drunk. Woke up with like a half-eaten beignet on my chest. It was a good night last night.
I got news for you. One of the great American cities that people should go to and check out. It's such a blast. Where you been hanging? In Frenchman Street? I think you'd be a Frenchman Street guy.
I did the French Quarter for a little bit, but I just been
not the Quarter, but Frenchman Street.
Yeah. I've been getting off there a little deeper over by the Bywater.
Wow.
There's some like good jazz and stuff up there. Trying to get away from most of the tourist stuff.
Yeah. Did you go to? I like right around Tulane, the Garden District.
I'm headed there today.
That's beautiful over there today.
Dude, I sat on the Carousel Bar. You ever been there?
I don't. You know what? I haven't been there in a while, so I don't
know it. It's a fancy restaurant. It's a circular bar that moves like a carousel. I was like getting motion sickness on it. I had to get off the ride.
Are you serious? Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
You know who was down there? Spags was down there for a while, and I went and saw him. That was the last time I was in New Orleans because he was down there. He was DC for the Saints, and we went to. He took me to some restaurant. It was awesome, like one of those. Who's the famous chef?
Emerald?
Yeah, it was one of Emerald's guys. It was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure your spag experience is a little different than me with the pagan. I'm hanging out with conjurers and witches.
Oh, that's fat. I'd rather do that, dude. I'd rather hang out with the conjurers or the witches. That's fantastic.
There's two sports things, man, I want to touch on. No one down here cares about the NFL draft. I'm amazed. I've been talking to, like, bartenders and people working at the hotel. Nobody cares about the draft. They're all in on NBA playoffs. NBA playoffs are so popular down here. That's all everyone's talking about. That's all everyone's watching.
Really?
And there's mad Embiid love. Everyone down here is Embiid's the MVP. Mad Embiid. I haven't met one person who's not an Embiid fan for the MVP down here.
Wow.
Pretty wild.
Everybody's loving JoJo. I love it. Now, I saw you posted a picture of you and a Celtic.
Yeah.
You as a Celtic fan, huh?
Yeah, his name is Juice. He's a bartender down here. I've hung out with him a couple times. He had some ratty old Larry Bird shirt on, but even he was showing Embiid mad love. Was
he really?
Yeah. I had to check in with him last night. He wasn't happy after that Jimmy Butler Miami Heat game.
And then tonight, baby, I'm at that Jimmy again. Down go the box. I love it.
It's been great. I've been watching Heat games. I brought my Oilers hat down here. I've been watching Edmonton. That game the other night was ridiculous.
That was. So you saw the comeback. They're down 3-0, and they come back.
Sick. And that's the series. They're on fire. Vander Kane's awake. Oilers are going to decimate the Kings. I think they play Saturday. So coming down here, we should be so thankful. We are so lucky. Like, being down here, no one's talking anything really except NBA playoffs. So we got the Phillies, we got the draft to look forward, we got the Sixers going on, and it just makes you realize when you go to a different sports town and talk to sports fans how lucky we are right now in Philadelphia. We should really just appreciate and have fun with this.
Will you? Curious. Will you watch the draft out at a bar?
I'm probably going to watch it on my phone. I'm committed to dinner and going to a jazz club tonight, so I'll probably watch it on my phone. And all I can say is I'm good with Stubby Arms offensive line. I'm good with Bijan. I just don't want Howie messing on the defensive side.
Stubby Arms is Skoronski, right? You like Skoronski?
Yeah, I'm good with him. He's versatile, and there's always injuries. You can't have too many offensive linemen.
I agree. I agree with you. And listen, you could probably push him out to right tackle. The only thing is, I just think it's going to set up to where you're going to trade out.
Yeah, it may look like that. And you still may be able to get a really nice offensive lineman at 13. But if they go Bijan, I'm good with that. I don't trust Howie and the Eagles on defense. Use free agency and trade for the defense side of the ball for me.
Well,
go Birds.
Go Birds, buddy. You got it. Listen, enjoy yourself, man, down there. That's fantastic. Have you ever been to New Orleans, Tunis?
No, I would like to at some point in my life, but I've not been down there yet.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a great city. It really is. It's one of those like amazing cities that you just fall in love with.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, you could have a lot of fun down there.
If you like to imbibe, you got that too. Yeah. You know? But it's just a cool city. It's got a cool vibe to it. Who we got, Tunis? Jerome, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Jerome.
Hey, what's up there, Anthony?
What's going on, Jerome?
What's happening? Okay.
Happy draft day, buddy.
Yes, it is. I'm going to not get pulled into this because the time is limited. You know what my phone call is going to be on. But I will say that, I'm going to trust the Eagles, Howie, and whatever to make the right choice. I mean, running back is my favorite position, but it's not something that they will choose that high. And, I mean, look, I'll be happy if they get somebody who's a speed rusher. So for a few times, I will agree with Tuna on that one. They get somebody, and that will have an immediate effect. But now, to my phone call purpose, you're going to have, because I had it on the radio in my car, in fact, you're going to have Paul. And I think I told you guys, I felt that, he wasn't a slug, not trying to come on with the thing of everybody has things they look at and they like. And I seen a guy who has the talent, the ups, the blocks, the willing to want to play, and to
Well,
not.
it gives you great energy too. I mean, the
Yeah,
thing about
exactly.
Paul is, I just think he needs to grow as a player.
Well, that's it. Hey, and this is a guy who is willing to do that. I mean, look, I'm not going to say I'm one of the. Well, look, would I adopt him and accept him? Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's my son. Okay, because I tried to tell you.
That's awesome.
And that's if you recall. So when he comes on, you tell him for this. Anthony Gargano, you have surprised me, and I'm going to need you if the Boston Celtics finally get to their spot of winning to take and deal with the Williams and the Tatums and whatever, because the man is he is sustainable. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
All
listen,
right?
it's going to be this is a big test for him. It's one thing
You've
doing
seen
against
him dribble
Brooklyn.
through his legs now. That's not his thing. Dribble through his legs and
it's
up
one
and under
thing
type
about
of thing, right?
it's one thing about Brooklyn. I need him to play sound against Boston. Like Boston, this is it. Like this is the whole thing, Jerome. You know, I mean, there's a big difference between Boston and Brooklyn, and that's all I'm saying. Listen, I love the kid's energy.
Anthony,
I think the kid has a great energy.
I respect you. He can cover the distance. Check him when he's following those wing guards and all of that. He's not lagging behind as far as speed. Okay,
it's not about speed. It's not about speed. And Jerome, thanks, buddy. It's not about speed. It's not about any of that. It's about growing as a ball player and being in the right spot. It's more about that stuff. That's what I want to see from the kid. And listen, I think the kid's first of all, it's impossible not to root for him. So Jerome, I give you all the props in the world. You loved him from the beginning. That's great. And he was terrific in the day. I'm going to ask him all about that stuff. What was that like in that game 4? Boston need to have it. That is a monster deal. And that's the only thing. All right, Tunis, real quick. So let's examine the top 10 now again.
How many times is this going to change?
I'm trying to suss it out. I want to see if we can get the top 10 right. Is it possible? Can we get the top 10 right?
No.
No?
No.
What are the odds to get the top 10 right?
Wow. So that means you would have to be in on every trade, every player selected. I'd set the odds at plus 2,500.
That's it?
Fine. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Plus.
I'm going to go. This will be my prediction. I'm going to go Bryce, Will Anderson, Levis, Richardson, Carter.
Now, is Levis going to Tennessee at 3?
There's going to be a trade.
Okay.
Now, I can't tell you what the deal is or what's going on, but I think I smell a trade. I just smell the trade. So no matter what happens, this is kind of how I see it play out. Seattle's going Carter. The Lions go Witherspoon.
So they don't go the other side of the line. Remember how yesterday I ended up going Tyree Wilson, so they're going to go
Witherspoon.
Hutchinson. Okay.
The Raiders are going to go Gonzalez.
Yep.
Then you got the Falcons. So now, if it goes like this, Bryce, Will Anderson, Levis, then Richardson off a trade, then Atlanta's such a wild card. I think you got to go O-line, no?
They confuse me because they're not a good drafting organization either.
I know. Bears go
I love
O-line.
Kyle Pitts and all, but that was a bad pick at the time. Like, I don't think they're a good drafting organization. But yeah, I guess you go O-line because if Ritter's not your guy, you're going to need to protect whoever your next quarterback is.
I think Atlanta has to go offensive line. Don't they got to go tackle?
Probably be a smart move. Hell, I still think they should draft another quarterback, but what do I know? They
Yeah,
just
no,
keep kicking the can down the road. They did that with Matt Ryan the last 3 years.
Yeah. So they have look at this. So I'm looking at these odds things. Draft team specials. So if you go, how about this? Let's go to Eagles. The Eagles draft. So here's what they have. To draft a D lineman or an edge guy, minus 105. O lineman, even money. Running back, plus 300.
Okay.
So and then they go cornerback, plus 950. Wide receiver, plus 1,000.
Of course, the first two were traditional Eagles picks.
Yeah.
Edge rush or lineman.
It works. So let me look at what you have in Atlanta. Atlanta, D lineman, minus 115. So that's your Tyree Wilson.
Right.
So their O lineman's plus 850. So Tyree goes 8. And then the Bears, they would go. The Bears have to
go offensive line.
Wow, you know what's interesting? The Bears, minus 170 to take an O line.
They have to.
So the Bears go Paris, and then here's the Birds sitting there at 10. Now, if you sit there at 10 and C.J. Stroud is still there, somebody's going to trade up for you.
Well, you got a handful of
You
trades.
also the
Njigba thing, yeah.
The Njigba thing's another one. So he's sitting there. So the Packers can move up to 10 to get in. Howie's sitting there like he's the man that shapes the entire draft.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of phone calls if that's the way it plays out.
Unless somebody trades with Atlanta to try to get up to C.J. Stroud.
Which could be a possibility, especially if Atlanta, I mean, the way that draft's playing out for them. Unless, look, they could be in love with Tyree Wilson at 8. That's good value.
So let me just look at Atlanta real quick for the odds for Atlanta to take. Well, they have plus 150 as a running back, plus 500, 5-1 to take the quarterback. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, because they're going to see if they have anything in Ritter, which I don't blame them. I just don't believe in them.
This is what now. My man, the Guru, says the Bears could go Bijan too. Not sure why nobody's saying that because they need offensive line help in the worst way. Again, you shouldn't take a run. Like that's why Atlanta makes no sense at going running back. You know?
Yeah, and the Bears have a handful of backs. Now, the Eagles do too, but
I mean, I don't think if you're Chicago. See, here's the thing about because we were talking about Bijan, right? When we talk about Bijan, you got to be able to have other guys around you. Like that's a final piece. You can't take a running back that high when you have all those holes. That's the great lesson of taking a running back that high, Tunis. All right. Let's put a pin in the draft for just a second because joining us on the Comcast Business Hotline, let's talk a little Sixers, baby, because a fan favorite is on the line. B-Ball Paul joins us. Paul Reed, what is it, B-Ball Paul?
Yo, what's happening?
How was practice today? How was you at the facility? Everybody good?
Everybody good. It was good practice. Got some good work in.
I got to tell you, first of all, just to start it, what was that game 4 like for you? Going out against Brooklyn, having that kind of game. There was Kevin Harlan talking about, hey, it's people, Paul Reed, another rebound. What was that like for you?
I mean, it was lit. It was lit. Just being able to start and let me know that the coaches trust me a lot. And then
oh no,
having my back was amazing. So it helped me.
Oh no, you're coming in and out on me, B-ball Paul. You were coming in and out, B-ball Paul.
Oh, you didn't hear what I said?
No, you were coming. You were zotzing. So tell me what you said.
No, I was just saying it was amazing feeling knowing that the coaches trust me enough to start. And then, I had a rough first half, but my teammates, they came and picked me up. It was good having them have my back out there. And then helped game more strong. Who's like the guys? Who is Joel and James? Because James knows the game inside and out. Harden knows the game. Who's talking you through it? Who's talking me through it?
Yeah. Like who was support? Like was Harden kind of talking you through things? Like, all right, young boy, do this, whatever. Was he one of the guys? Because I know how tight you are with those dudes.
Yeah. Harden definitely one of the guys that talks to me a lot. PJ Tucker, he also talks to me a lot. Tobias, he be talking to me.
That's cool.
It's a lot of dudes that kind of get a little advice. And I'm always receptive. I'm always trying to pick up what I can. And I always take the criticism. I try to take it well.
Yeah, you do. You got a good head on your shoulders. Listen, this game is, it's all about. You just got to grow. You got to get used to the speed of it. You got to get good. It was great that you got that kind of playoff experience because you could see the difference between the playoffs and the regular season, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You can see it more intense, more chippy. I mean, that game. Listen, in Game 3, that game got chippy.
It did, no cap.
How's it feel, being Joel's backup, being the beast's man to go to give him a break?
I mean, it's a lot of pressure, to be honest. He's on the court. Offense is ran through him, and everybody really be benefiting off of him. Because, I be looking at the plus minus. That's kind of my thing that I focus on. When I'm on the court, I'll be trying to focus on getting a good plus minus. But when I'm off the court, everybody else plus minus is going up for Joel in the game. But not just because of him, though. But, yeah, I'll be trying to focus on the plus minus.
Hey, listen, that's great.
But, pressure pouring diamonds, that's how I feel. So, I'm built for it.
You did a hell of a job on the boards, too, man.
Oh, yeah, that's what I do.
You know what you do, too? You know what you bring? You bring energy. You bring life. Like, when you come in, there's an energy about you. That's a great gift, B-Ball Paul.
Hey, man, that's what I do, man. I try to impact the game however way I can. If I'm not scoring, then it's going to be off for offensive rebounds. If I'm not doing that, I'm going to try to get defensive stuff, get blocks, do something like that.
That's good. Yeah, that's great. Have you been watching the playoffs? Did you watch Jimmy last night against Milwaukee?
Yeah, I've been watching. I peeked.
That was crazy. These games have been wild. It's been an incredible playoffs. And the best thing about it is that you guys sweep. So look at this. You get to just watch these other teams go at each other.
Yeah, we kind of get to chill out and see who's going to move on to the next round. It's a good feeling, knowing that we already secured.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Now, tonight's a big game between Boston and Atlanta. We need that series to go 7, Paul.
7?
We need that series to go to the distance. We got to root Atlanta tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, we want that series to go 7 because we just want the maximum rest. And then it looks like Boston, and if they win, we hate the Celtics in Philadelphia.
I think we playing on Monday regardless.
We are. No, that's the truth. That we are. We'd rather play Atlanta, but it doesn't really matter who you play. It just gives you. I just want you want those teams to go to distance, so you guys are rested, and then it's like bring it on, man.
Oh yeah, they got to play against a fresh leg.
What did Claxton say anything to you during the game? Those guys say anything? They talking junk?
Nah, see, I'm not really like a dude that talk a lot of trash. So dude,
I know you don't.
Trash to me.
Yeah, I know they try. Listen, the beauty is that you just go out, head down, do your job, man.
Yeah, I let my game to talk.
That's good. That's good. All right, listen, I got to tell you, Paul, the fans love you. You know that. You're one of the fan favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you come in, man, they love it. They give you all kinds of love.
They like guys who play hard. You know.
Yes.
That's why they like me so much.
What have you learned about Philadelphia?
Hey, they gonna be with us when we up, and they gonna be with us when we down. As long as we playing hard, they ain't gonna have too much to say. But at the same time, if you're not playing right, they gonna have a lot to say, and I can respect that.
Yeah, listen, we love sports in this town, all right, and we love the Sixers. And the one thing is that ride or die, these fans are always with you. So listen, enjoy yourself. Play when you get that time against Boston. Play smart, right?
Right.
You got this now, all right?
Hey, we don't know if we're playing Boston yet, though.
I know, whatever it is, but if it's Boston.
Everybody thought Boston was going to win last game.
That's true.
See what happened.
True that.
Ain't no telling.
Yeah, true that. You got that right. Listen, all I know is play the song, man. All right? We can't wait for the Sixers basketball to start back on Monday. B-Ball Paul, brother. Listen, enjoy. Good luck, and let's go. Let's make this run, okay?
All right.
All right, buddy. Good talking to you. Here he is, Paul Reed on the Comcast Business Hotline. Young man Paul. Jonas, I've done a lot of interviews, Jonas, and he's one of the young guys that he'll grow into it.
Yeah, it takes some time to get comfortable.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's a fan favorite.
Yeah, listen, he's a good kid. He really is a good kid, man. And he's a highly rootable. Like, look what just listen to what he's talking about. He just says, all I want to do is focus on plus minus, right? Like, he just wants to go in and do credible. And
wants to play ball, man.
He does. So, all that love heaped on his shoulders, he's a nice kid, man. And he works really, really hard.
Yeah, and we saw some improvement. He had a good game against the Nets the other day.
Yeah.
To the point where our man Jerome called in and said, "I told you so." So that's good.
Yeah, I want that to be against Boston. And then I told you so as I welcome.
Yes.
I need because I need him for
a little
Boston.
bit of a different series with Boston.
I need him for Boston. He played, but God bless him. That's got to be such a thrill that when you have
double in a closeout. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. And the funny thing about that game when it comes to Paul Reed was Harlan was going wild.
Yes.
Like, I can only imagine if that was, if he's your relative and you're just hearing, hey, Paul Reed, another yanks down, another rebound, 15, whatever, like that had to be a cool moment.
Oh, for sure. Now, do you know who is Paul Reed's number one fan, actually?
No.
It's your boy.
Who?
Big Cat.
Oh, yes, the Big Cat loves him.
He changed his Twitter handle and everything.
Yeah, the Big Cat.
Paul.
I love the Big Cat. Big Cat loves Paul Reed, Big B-Ball Paul. In fact, he got his shirts last night in Wilmington.
He did, yes.
Which was awesome. Yeah, I love the Big Cat. That's pretty cool. All right, Tunis, tonight. Oh, man. I'm going to single screen it. I know I'm in the minority.
Hey, let me see the finale.
But I'm single screening it, buddy.
I had it run to the end of the show, so it'll be over in 9 minutes. But it did drop a little bit, so you're not as crazy. 68% say they can go multiple screens during the NFL draft. 32% can't handle too much stuff going on. They go single screen. But then when I asked what screen will the NFL draft be on at your home, main TV got 70% of the vote. That is what people should be doing. And then secondary screen and following along on Twitter both got 15% of the vote.
Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. Well, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I can't follow along on Twitter though, Tunis.
No, I can't.
I couldn't do that.
No, and today's they put the phone down night because they are tipping picks, and then it takes away from your actual enjoyment of the draft itself.
Yeah, I love the draft.
So don't even look at your phone today if you're just trying to watch the draft, or if you're double screening it like me.
Yeah.
So I can handle it.
Yeah. All right. How much time we got, buddy?
A little over a minute.
All right, good.
90 seconds.
All right. So this is what I'm looking at. All right. So I'm seeing 1 Bryce Young, 2 Will Anderson, 3 Will Levis, 4 Richardson on a trade, 5 Jalen Carter.
Colts are trading out of 4?
Yeah. No, they're going to get the Colts may trade up to 3.
Ah, okay.
And get Levis. Somebody's trading. There's going to be a trade for Arizona. Arizona's going to trade out of there.
Okay.
Whether with Tennessee or the Colts. Because Arizona could theoretically trade with Indianapolis and then trade again with Tennessee.
Which is kind of what the Eagles did.
There's a strong possibility that could happen. And I think Levis goes 3rd, Richardson 4, Carter 5, the 2 corners 6 and 7. Eagles trade out. Come on, Bijan. Come on, Bijan. Give me some Bijan. Stay tuned. Best show ever coming your way next. We love you guys. Be safe. We'll see you in the morning.